But I gotta tell you, I'll be honest with you. I had another dream. And if you don't know, I'm a dreamer. Like, I got vivid dreams. I wake up thinking them was real. And I hate to bring it back, because this is not the direction I'm trying to go, but I'm just landing, like, you know, I'm bringing the context that I did have a dream in the past where I seen Diddy at a house party. I dapped him up, and I was conflicted in my dream, because it was one of those things, like, he just pulled up on me, and you kind of just like,
he said, "What's good, my
like,
nigga?" He was like
you just dap. I wasn't thinking. It's just respectful. Like, you just dap anybody you see, type of thing. And then I was like,
I don't know about all that.
I feel bad. Like, I didn't feel morally correct in that moment.
Is this a recent dream?
No, that was months ago. Today's dream, though. I did share on the pod. All right, today's dream, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I spent the day with Trump.
Huh?
I spent the day with Donald Trump. And let me tell y'all.
You go to sleep.
I don't like Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump. It's fuck Trump in my book. I had a fun ass day with Trump. He took me on a private jet. We was in the PJ.
He goes on a date with Trump.
He took me on the PJ.
Had mad fun.
I was behind the scenes at the rally. I was like, yo, they got energy over here, bro. He took me to the mansion, the Mar-a-Lago, bro. Like, the staff was taking care of me. I was like...
You ever seen the Window Shopper music video?
With 50
with 50 inmates. They walking around with the big milkshakes and all that. Like, that's what I'm visualizing.
I felt like that. I felt like it was, I don't know... You know, when like you at your school, you get to be principal for a day type of thing. I just felt like I was the man.
My school never did that. Whack ass shit. No bullshit.
No bullshit.
That's whack.
But I don't know. I woke up, I felt conflicted. I was like, I hate this guy, but he was kind of fun.
No, hold on. But how did it end?
He was kind of fun in my dream.
How did the dream end though? I'm really curious about that part.
I don't know. It was a blur.
He's not telling us.
It's always the end. He don't tell
It's
us.
just a blur, but that's all I remember. You feel me? I got to start writing this stuff down.
As soon as you wake up.
As soon as I wake up. But
nigga said, all I remember is I had a fun ass time.
We'll come back to this when we talk about it.
I don't know why I'm having dreams with these morally... I wouldn't even say ambiguous, because they're just not more immoral men. I don't know.
I say they're morally inept, nigga.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Especially Diddy, though. No bullshit. That nigga wild, no cut.
We gonna talk about it. Are we gonna talk about it? You got all right, anything on the table? I gotta know now. You got brands to protect or whatever they do.
I work for myself, so I'm
whatever brands Diddy got, it's up
now.
It's up now.
I think he had brands to protect too, nigga. Look at him now.
Yeah.
Hey man, you already know we rocking. It's 508 Rod. We back with Bad for the Community. I got Nate next to my left.
Yes, sir.
Got St. Eves to his left.
What up?
And we got Where's Nasty in the building. Special guest. Real special guest. I had to do my Googles. I was like, damn, what doesn't this man do? Damn. For real. So, I mean, I could just go down the list and you tell me if I got to add to this.
Bet.
All right? Producer.
Sometimes.
DJ.
All the time.
Photographer.
All the time.
Event curator. And you also... I don't know. I seen your website. You got blogs. You doing content creation, all that. I seen you do music videos. So what am I missing? Am I missing anything big?
I got a title that I could throw out myself.
What's
just from
that?
like observing, just a tastemaker. Like I think you're a true definition of a tastemaker, someone who just knows how to like set the standard. I think that covers the whole umbrella. You feel me? It's like everything else that comes under that. This is what I feel like doing. But like you're a tastemaker, bro. No bullshit.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing, club owner.
Yeah. I would have put that under the event curator, but no, for sure.
I appreciate that, man. I feel like I feel like the word tastemaker now has like such a you know what I mean? Like,
it depends. Like, we just throw it around like nothing. It's like dot connectors.
Like
what does that mean?
It don't really mean nothing anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like. It's like when you hear influencer, it's like, yo,
everybody's
like,
an
what does that mean?
Exactly.
Creative director, what does that mean? But I feel like in its essence, it's like it's a beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because I think what do you say? Would you say it's accurate in terms of like, it seems like you just do whatever you feel like in that moment. Because again, you've done all these different mediums and it just, whatever you feel like at that moment. And right now, it's the club owner. But what else you got going on currently in the moment?
I mean, shit. I feel like most people know me for DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So like DJing and throwing parties. I've been throwing parties since I was like 15. I got into it. I always tell like say by accident. I was a rapper before that. So that's like why I have so much love for like artists and stuff. Because before I was DJing, I was like rapping. Like I was like the first nigga, or I'm not gonna say the first, but I say one of the first niggas in my age group that had like the home studio. So like people was coming over my house recording. I'm showing other artists how to record. I'm selling mixtape. But this is like this is like 6th, 7th grade.
We gotta turn the wheels back though. Like where does that start? Like just the idea to want to be as self-productive and having that all in your space at such a young age though.
So I think it's just reference points. It's like when you're young,
Because what year we talking about? Like when you're 15?
Nah, even before 15, like when I'm talking about like the CDs and stuff, like bro, this is like 2001. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is like,
So the mixtapes out the mom's trunk. I'm not even old enough to have a trunk. I gotta say, mom's trunk.
Nah, so like I'm like 6th, 7th grade. What's that, like 11, 12 years old? Like 01, 02.
12,
for
13
me,
years.
yeah. So like around that age. At that time, it's like, you know, in my neighborhood, you got Skippy Whites. They had Skippy Whites out here. Skippy Whites was heavy in Rhode Island too. So, you know, that was a heavy mixtape store. So like, I grew up going to, my mom, there used to be like a Shaw's in this plaza. So my mom would go food shopping. And I always say like, this specific plaza is like what raised me, because my mom would go food shopping. I'm like, I'm going to Expressions, I'm going to Skippy Whites. They're like next door to each other. So you in it, you know, I'd be in Expressions. Expressions looking at sneakers. Shits is like, you know, at that time, it's like,
Yeah, he's just looking.
Yeah, I'm not getting no sneaker that's over $80.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not happening.
Yo, the game's so fucked up now.
So like, but at that time, you could get, you know, like that just mean I'm just not getting no Jordans, bro. Right. I could get Air Forces, I could get some Bo Jacksons, like all that shit, some Jordan 1s, shit like that. But I would go next door to Skippy Whites. You're looking at the CDs. They're selling mixtapes like 3 for $15. Yeah. So I would go back to my mom. She's in there thing. I'm like, yo,
I just need.
Just give me 10. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I can make it work.
Give me 10. So I'll go there. The day I remember vividly was like, because, you know, I was always like rapping. You know, like when you're young, you're like, you just copying. Like, yeah, you watching BET. Just like, yo, I got a verse.
Right.
I go to Skippy Whites, and this day I buy 3 mixtapes. I buy a Big Mike mixtape, DJ Big Mike, legendary. I buy 50 Cent, No Mercy, No Fear. So this is like
before he really popped off.
Before Get Rich or Die. That's the mixtape that had Wankster.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Bank's Victory and all that shit.
Was that before or after How to Rob?
That's after How to Rob. This is like when 50 was like,
he was popping, bro.
Like the hottest shit.
I think my sister had the same one, bro. No bullshit.
Yeah, no.
That's how niggas got introduced to that shit.
With the white tees and the guns on the cover, crazy.
No bullshit.
And then the third CD was a platinum instrumentals. So on this CD, you got the Old Boy Beat, Cameron. You got Clips Grinding.
So you could record over and everything. Okay.
You got Guess Who's Back. You know what I'm saying? So that was like, that plaza was like, for me, my introduction into like, you know, like just seeing other local stuff going on. You buying mixtapes. I'm seeing DJs. You know, like you got like Big Stress who was working out there. He was like a heavy DJ in Rhode Island, still on the radio. So you got like C&J Records, CR the Beast. So these are all my reference points of like people. I'm seeing them doing things, and it's like, well, I gotta be doing that. You know.
Now, maybe it's cause like we're a little bit older, so it's kind of, you know, we're like the old man on the yard type shit. We don't understand what the kids doing nowadays. But like, do you miss that era of music? Cause I find myself, even if I kind of more grew up on the streaming era, but I still grew like my early childhood was during that phase where you were downloading shit off of LimeWire and stuff, and having your CDs in your car collection, not me, but uncles and stuff like that. Do you miss back when music was kind of like that, where you had to go find it physically and everybody kind of had their own personal collection versus we all just have access to the same stuff and algorithms play to us?
I think so I'm conflicted in this because I think a lot of stuff is still the same. We're just caught up in the medium. So like, what I say about that is like, yo, like back then you had a mixtape, now you got playlists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and maybe I'm looking at it like this because I'm a DJ. So I go on those playlists every Friday and be like, all right, what's the new shit? And I'm like going through, well, who got the best playlist? You know what I'm saying? Like, and So like that's like the way that I'm approaching it. The same way it was like, all right, like, yeah, I'll buy the Big Mike mixtape. I'll buy the Who Kid, but I might not buy this DJ's mixtape because the last time I bought it,
it wasn't really hitting like that.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think right now, people's not the consumer takes this stuff for granted. Like I think there's a lot of good music out there. I think it's a lot of stuff going on. I just think we're just in a point where it's like it's just so much that people like, you know, like it's just like like whatever. Yeah. Like I got 1,000 songs I could pick from every day.
It's supplying. It's basic. No, I get you.
No, I was gonna say. I think the thing is too. It depends on like the person and the intent. You feel me? For the everyday person who just wants to put something on as like background music just to listen to something that sounds nice, you know, they listen to what's popular and that's that. Mm-hmm. Now we're in a position where music is accessible at any front. Yep. If I want to find something new, all I got to do is look for it. First is back in the day, if I'm not buying your CD, I'm not giving you that chance of giving you my $10, I'm not hearing this. And it's never going to come across me unless I hear it from someone else or anything like that.
It's crazy.
Versus now, all I got to do is press play and it's like, oh, you know what? I like this song. What other songs you got? Let me go look into this. Or you know what? I actually like this artist now. Let me start fucking with them.
Yo, the example that I would give, like based on what you're saying, and you're saying like if I wanted to go back to how it was, is like when I was growing up, like saying like in the early 2000s, and I'm sure it was like this for a lot of people pre-social media, like being somebody who had a bunch of mixtapes or CDs, like that, not everybody was doing that. Not everybody had that interest or that level of curiosity, right? Sure. Or you think about like the sneaker thing, like, yo, in 2008, 2006, 2007, like, bro, like I had 150 pairs of sneakers, yo, back then. and that was like, nigga, you're a weirdo. Like, you know, like
before sneakerhead culture really matured.
There's people who understood it, but to the average person is like, bro, like, why do you have all these sneakers?
You are not gonna wear all those.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
So you said how much money you put up.
So I just think like now all of this stuff is normal. Like, yo, bro, like you could go like there was a time like I used to have like cousins that would come to my house, they'll go to my basement. It's like, yo, why do you have all this stuff? Bro, now you could go to anybody's house. They all have 100 pairs of sneakers. Yeah. Like it's normal. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the difference is like the world has like these things aren't really subcultures anymore. Right. It's like, it's just culture.
Mainstream.
Now.
It's all mainstream culture now. And to your point, I think when you're talking about discoverability, it is easier than ever. But what I was going to say is like, I don't know, it feels like it's like basic economics, supply and demand. You know, you increase the supply. So now, obviously, it's worth less because there's so all the supply. And then I also feel like the demand kind of went down as well. Cause like back in the day, if you were on the car, on the train, or whatever, you know, you're just transporting yourself, you're going anywhere, there's only so many options you were gonna listen to. It's not like you got podcasts and YouTube on your phone and stuff like that. You really, the radio or music that you had on your cassette, your phone, your CD player, whatever it is. But now it's like, I don't even gotta listen to music on a car ride if I don't want to. I could just listen to a podcast.
The way I look at it specifically in the music space is like back in the day you had like superstars, right? So like the radio, TV, they were able to control visibility in a way that's like 1 million people can see this. Regardless if we like it or not, 1 million people can see it. 2 million people can see it, right? Now I think the visibility is segmented, so everything's very niche. So like that's why like you'll have shit that's like so big in one world, and then nobody else ever.
That's a fact.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we could be like, yo, like to some people, yo, Zach Fox is like the biggest shit right now, right? But there's people that like, I never even heard that nigga DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think that's the lens that I look at the world now. Is like, yo, everything is like a sub-genre.
Yeah.
I can agree. I can agree.
I think I prefer it that way, to be honest.
You too.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Personally,
here's my other point on that. Right. Back, and all goes back to the value of music. Back when you were in those CD stores and you were looking through and you was asking moms like, yo, let me get 10, let me get 15. Like, you know, when you got out of that store and you were appreciative that she even gave you that money and then you bought the CDs and you had to make selections, there probably other choices you wanted, but you only got 15. So you got to pick the best ones. Are you only going to listen to CD one time and be like, oh, that's
Hell
mid,
no.
and throw it away and stop listening to it after a week. No, I'm getting my money's worth out of it. But I also think we pay $10. We have all this access to music. We don't live with the music long enough.
I will say this, and I know some people would disagree, but bro, it's a lot of music from that era though. Like just like now, like how shit come and go. It's a lot of music from that era that aged like shit too though. like it's like it was like fire at that time,
Yeah.
but right now it's like, yo, bro, I don't want to hear this shit.
And
like,
even back then, like too, you would listen to some shit because there were also gonna be those times where you listen to the music and you were just like, oh, like I really like this, but the next year you're not going back to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
it's in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. I think the time frame just it looks different now.
Yo,
but
bro,
I think it also goes back down to how people are creating too.
I think we get like one thing that I remember that I look at and I try to remember as a DJ is that the energy is always going to be the same. So like, bro, like Pop Smoke is what 50 Cent was to us. Like just that energy, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So me, like I always try to look at music and culture through that lens. It's like, yo, it's always gonna be the fly niggas. It's always gonna be like, yo, like now, like even if you think about like street stuff, like it's like, yo, back in the day you had boosters, you had drug dealing. Yo, that's not really a thing. Niggas is scamming now. But it's still, it's still, you know,
some type of scheming going on.
you know, like so for
Niggas
me,
was drug dealers, now they the drug abusers. Yeah.
or like, so I just think this shit, it just changed. Like all of this stuff changes. Like the players change, but the energy stays the same.
Yeah.
So like you think about the R&B, you think about all this stuff. It's like, yo, bro, it's valleys and peaks with this stuff. It's not, and that to me is what kind of makes this exciting.
You never really know where it's gonna go next, but you know it's going somewhere.
Like all this Y2K shit you see going on right now, like with fucking Ice Spice, all this is like, yo,
Pink Panthers,
yeah, like, or even like how like Yachty and them's dressing, like, bro, that's how niggas was dressing when I was in high school.
That's
like, you know what I'm saying?
They just bringing it back.
Like they doing it a little bit different. It may not be like to the T of like how we did it.
You see the blueprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hear that.
That's fair. Maybe I'm just an old man who's just like, I just want to.
You're not even old, bro. That's the thing. You're not old.
No, but I'm 25, but I
yeah.
reached the point where I like the game I loved. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But bro, you got to think about
the
it.
game of hip hop I love.
But you got to think about it is you're always gonna think every generation they gonna think the music that came up on is the best. Like this people was like, yo, like, so I'm assuming like for you, like Chief Keef, right? It's like, yo, like that era of Chief Keef is crazy. Like there's people like to me. I have this argument in one of my group chats all the time where they say, yo, Chief Keef is the nigga who brought Polo back. And I'm like, there is, to me, I'm like,
that sounds wild.
I'm like, there's no way.
It was Kanye's.
Exactly.
My mom would think Kanye.
But
to
be like True Religion, like at that time, like what he was doing that. But even that, 2 Chainz was doing that.
And then even before that, Jim Jones, Max
Chrome Hearts.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, bro, we was wearing True Religion jeans in high school in 2007.
Type shit.
Like Red Monkey, all that stuff, you know?
So then if this is a cycle of, you know, things going out of fashion, going back into fashion, then I'm going to wait when lyricism comes back into fashion.
But you don't think lyricism is happening right now?
No, I'm waiting for when it just comes back and people, that's what people care about more of.
You know what I mean? It's like it becomes a new standard
that
again.
happened, that fueled me because it just brought me back to a feeling that I felt and the excitement I had for hip hop that I just haven't had in a very long time.
Let me give you a perspective though of like how I think about this shit. So lyricism in like 2003, you had like say like Saigon, Papoose, like all these guys, all these, you know, like who would be considered like what Griselda and these guys are right now. They didn't make anywhere near amount of the money as a Benny the Butcher is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now is like there's them niggas might not be on like the biggest platforms, but they're in their own world running it up, going crazy. Like, yo, you seeing Alchemist dropping projects with like everybody,
with
bro. Like you looking at Mac Homney, fucking what's this dude name that's like the godfather of all this shit? He used to be with Flip Mode Squad. Fuck. Damn.
Producer?
No, rapper. Oh, fuck.
Nah, not connecting the dots,
Nah, it's
whatever we talking.
No, he's like, Like right now, but like he's like, if you look at like say like West Side Gun, like he's like
adjacent to all that.
Damn, his name's slipping my mind right now.
Well, all that to say though, it's more like you just gotta find it. It's there. Sure. It's there for you to find. And it's just
we're
not being
curious no more, bro. That's what I think the difference
is. That's definitely.
I was gonna say that's bump Rome streets right now, nigga. No bullshit. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Don't listen to enough music.
That to me, that's what the difference is that niggas, the consumer is being lazy.
Facts.
The shit's out there, bro.
It's all out there.
The shit's out there.
Niggas want lyricism, but then you name lyricists and niggas never heard of them. It's crazy when you say we got access to the same niggas. Nigga don't bump Mike. Nigga not bumping Navy Blue. Nigga not bumping Mac Homie. You don't know. Like you
Navy Blue's nice.
Name a song.
Mac Homie is a little different. Mac Homie's a little different. He makes his music privatized.
I get what you're saying.
So you gotta buy direct from the source. You know what I mean?
But it's right there. You know where to get it though.
It is there.
If I'm not as curious anymore, when I do hop on my socials every once in a while and I see the things that are getting pushed to me, it's just like discouraging.
But you also,
I understand that, and that because I understand that.
And this is my bigger point. Not to say I can't go find it, but it's more about where the direction goes when the younger generation is only being pushed a certain type of microwave music. Because then what's gonna happen is it's gonna cause them to recreate that music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always talk about how the SoundCloud wave. It was a dope time. It was a super dope time because again, it just you didn't have to wait for the TVs and the radios to put you on. You could put yourself on. You could go record something in the basement and have it out on SoundCloud the next day. But it also gave a lot of people the idea that like we can all be rappers. I'm a rapper now, without really respecting the craft.
But I think technology did that more than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I don't think it's like a SoundCloud problem. It's like bro, like. Back in the day, it literally cost like thousands of dollars to record. Like, right now, these niggas recording music in jail. Like putting out full albums.
Put some AI on that. We can make it sound like professional studio.
Facts.
That's crazy.
But okay then. In that case, do you think do you notice a shift, especially as we talking about your DJing events? You're also the person who's introducing people to a lot of music. Have you noticed what you're showing people is kind of shifting away from hip hop a little? Like I kind of see countries coming, like, I'm not saying you. I know you're not playing, but it kind of feel like the industry is moving off of hip hop. Like they slutted it out for however many years they did, and it's kind of like we on to the next thing, whether it's alt pop, whether it's country, whatever it is.
I think it's, bro. That shit to me is just like on some racism, anti-black shit. If we keeping it,
on that,
like if we keeping it real, it's like. A lot of these people who are in positions of power, they don't resonate with our culture. And to them, it's like, if it was up to them, a lot of these people that we look up to, that we fuck with, they wouldn't be in positions of power. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just think that culturally we're in a space where it's like these, like you look at like these major labels or companies or whatever, is, let's use an artist like Larry June. Like, yeah, he's signed to a label and he's had different situations, but we're at a point now where you have all the tools where you don't really need them.
That's a
like
fact.
they can support you and help you grow, but you could get your shit moving by yourself.
And a lot of times they only going to you if you already got your shit moving by yourself. They not
there's no more artist
developing
development. There's no more artist
anymore.
development.
Yeah.
No.
But I say that to say it is like, what's the incentive like in some of these companies to work with us? You know what I'm saying? Like for them, it's like they've always been trying to create a new wave that's counter to our culture, because our culture, like you think about hip hop, black culture, it doesn't move on a numbers metric. Like to me, bro, that's like some non-hip hop shit. Like when niggas be talking about like
first week numbers and stuff, like you think that fucked up the game?
It did because and like in our culture, that's like when niggas say like, yo, I'm outside, like that means something.
For sure.
Like when niggas say like, yo, like if somebody say, yo, bro, yo, you not outside, or yo, like, oh, I don't hear that in the street, or I don't, like, yo, that hurts niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like they won't say
how
that.
much numbers you got.
Niggas,
like I ain't hear that.
Like niggas could say, oh man, I got this Grammy, I got this, but to me, hip hop is like, and this is like why the metric, people get so mad of the metric of like, well, I don't hear this in the club. But the club is just one barometer of what's going on outside. You know what I'm saying? So when, like, you think about it like this, Boss Man D-Lo will probably never win a Grammy. Probably never be nominated for a Grammy.
Right now.
But when you talking about hip hop, yo, that shit is what we're fucking with right now.
And I think, what was it, a couple months ago where it was like Finito just went platinum and it was like, nigga, that shit went triple. I mean, like, 10 times platinum and where I'm from,
Think about it like this. Wayne Wonder, No Letting Go.
Yeah.
Like, Heater.
Yeah.
Like, that shit.
Every baby shower, every club, every party.
That song is like 2 decades in right now. That shit just got a plaque for something. I mean, like, I seen niggas saying there's no way that this song is just getting a plaque.
That's crazy.
But to us, that shit is a state. It don't matter if that shit is Billboard or not. Like every function we went to, every party we went to,
we gonna hear it.
Hey man, shout out Kevin Little, Turn Me On. That was up too. Shoot,
so that's what I'm saying, bro. Like to us, bro, they could try to change this every way that they want. This is what they trying to do with the streaming, with the playlist. But it's like, yo, it don't matter. It's like some of this stuff, like you see it with the playlist, bro. They have these playlists, like say like Rap Caviar. It's songs that they put on these playlists that, yo, it'll be in the top 10 songs and all this. And yo, we don't hear that. We don't fuck with that. There's people who do listen to that, but and this is why certain artists be so mad. Like when you look at, let's say, like a Russ, right?
Okay, that's an example.
Like to me, Russ is the perfect example. Yeah, he's made a bunch of money off music.
He makes millions of dollars.
But he's also so anti-industry. Yeah. He's what the industry doesn't want. He's so self-sufficient.
Exactly.
No, but he doesn't need anything.
I think what's interesting about Russ though, he makes all this money off his streams, and I like the things that Russ says. I don't hear nobody listen to Russ. Maybe that's just me. I do not.
When he had that one song with Bia though.
Yeah, that shit was hard. That shit was
the best
hard.
in the world. For sure.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
Outside of that
shit went up.
I couldn't tell you, bro. It feels like it's like one of those mobster like restaurants where it's like we not trying to make bread. We just the fun. Like
I think
it's the same
niggas that don't like hip hop. It's crazy.
But I also think, like, for example, like I feel what you're saying. Like the thing is, like when you look at like a Russ, like to me, I think Russ, La Russell, these are guys that are like, yo, they've cracked the code on business, and I'm gonna respect them for their business.
Sure.
But when we talk about at least on the East Coast, going like if you going to the most relevant party in Boston, you going to the most relevant party in Providence, you going to the most relevant party in New York, yo, we not gonna hear that stuff. Like so that to me, that's the barometer of yo, and that's what I think the internet has. To go back to some of the points that you were making earlier, that's what the internet has gotten in the way of. It's like niggas think they could just be outside without having to be outside.
Yeah,
right?
they're not really outside. They inside. They very much inside.
They on Instagram story watching what's going on outside.
You know what's outside to them? That we streaming. We on the person stream. We all together on the stream, online, in our homes.
I was explaining that. I've been explaining that to people all week, bro. Is that one of the reasons a lot of artists, you feel me, like they'll say shit where they'll be like, oh, like feel like I don't get booked for shows, or they feel like I don't get this recognition that I deserve, or whatever it might be. But at the same time, like they don't want to show up and support anything. You feel me? Or they might
come
feel
outside.
like, you know what I mean? They might feel uncomfortable with some shit, but at the same time, it's like they're not recognizing like the significance of it. Like, how are you supposed to grow and improve? One, you know what I mean? If you're not attending other people's events, if you're not showing face at different things, but also, how are you supposed to get recognized by people if they don't recognize you? You know what I'm saying?
To me, bro, the only way that this hip hop shit will go away, to your original question, is if niggas stop caring about outside.
Yeah.
Like if you know what I'm saying? Like if it gets to the point where it's like that is not important anymore, that like to your point, like saying like, yo, you not showing up, like, cause yo, bro, you could have this artist we see regional artists all the time. Bro, niggas got a stupid amount of streams, they on this playlist, blah, blah. But they come outside in their city and niggas don't know who they are.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And
it happens a lot.
And there was a time where that meant something. It's like, yo, well, we never heard of you. We not fucking with you. And I think for a little bit, we got away from that. And I think that's the balance we need to bring back. It's like, yo, bro, like we don't hear you when we step outside. That's why like I'll bring it to like some Boston shit. Like to me, why that Cousin Stiz era, like when he first came out, that 2015, 2016, 2017 was so important is because it's like, yo, this shit is sounding like some shit we want to hear.
Cracked through.
And we hear this shit outside. And we see him, Christmas, OG, all these niggas in the parties. And that, to me, that's why it worked. Is because he was outside.
Yeah.
So now, 2024, who's, especially, again, you're curating these events, you're the tastemaker for these events. Who's hot right now? Who's the people everybody's hearing outside? in
regionally or just in general?
general. I'd have to guess Cash Cobain.
Oh yeah, but I think again, it's all very niche, and it depends where you at because, like, I'm in like a bunch of DJ group chats, right?
Yep.
Where from DJ all over the country, all over the world. Where, say, like a Cash Cobain when For Sure came out, that shit going crazy from here to like DC, but in Miami, they're like, oh, we're not really on that. But then Boss Man D-Lo going crazy over there, Lil Tyler going crazy over there. Yeah. It's not, you know.
And it might not be connecting over here.
Yeah. And then you got the spaces that's like influenced by internet culture, where like that's to me what SoundCloud was. Yeah. So like you might be able to get some of that Ken Carson, you know what I mean? Like that
Molly Santana.
Exactly.
She's blowing up right now. Yeah.
Was it like Homo Gang? Like all them.
Yeah, Homicide Gang.
Yeah, like all them dudes, like where that shit's gonna ring off. So but I would say right now, like what I see Boss Man D-Lo doing in the function, like, yo, this shit does not make any sense. Like it's I would say like right now, he got it. But I also think you know, dance music is coming back in a major way right now.
Agreed.
So like you starting to see like, you know, like obviously K-Tronada has been huge for a while.
I'm actually about to see him in a couple of weeks in New York. Yeah.
I'm about to see him, I think it's in Boston, like somewhere around
Gotcha,
here.
Yeah.
But like, you know, like you start that type of music permeating like more into the mainstream parties. Cash Cobain to me, 100% like going crazy. I would even say like Anicia, like the girls, like they going stupid. But it all depends on where you're at. Because like even like you said, like the Afro beats, I'm a piano, that's going great, but it depends what room you in. Like to me, the luxury I have is that I get to play in a bunch of different type of places. So like, bro, I DJ'd in Philly last week, right? Like I go over there, I'm playing a Caribbean party. You know, one of the biggest Caribbean songs right now is like the Squash record, right? Huge joint. But it wasn't ringing in Philly. It's like the same way like when Taliban's first came out, like that shit might be big amongst the Caribbeans, but then you go to like an American Caribbean club, it's like, we don't really know this.
That's what I was gonna ask you too, especially being like from out here and like tapping in and being tapped in with the artists, especially like the more regional artists, and then you know it rings off here and then going to a different city and like, oh, I'm about to get them with this new, like they ain't even hit to this, and then it might not hit the same. Like for you, who are some regional artists that you feel like have crack through that scene? Like I know you mentioned like Stiz and stuff like that, but like now right now.
So I mean it's a lot. But I'll say this like, and I'm saying this a lot because you know like whenever you don't mention
people gonna feel slighted and shit. We not but this is more to big up the people.
Like for me, like, you know, for like 2 years I was doing the Spotify Ripple Effect playlist New England. So like that's how I really got to get reacquainted with like a lot of artists from the area, right? But in this present moment right now, like to me, I look at Lily Rain. She from
Providence.
She from Providence. Like that's like, you know, like
she's dope.
my sister. Like we seen her grow up. Like seen her first coming to the club, coming to the art gallery, and like seeing where she's at now.
Yeah, because what, she's in LA now. Just
in LA. She just dropped the album. I was
gonna say she just dropped
fire. Yeah. Like she
Felix was on there too, I think.
Yeah. The shit with Rain, man. She always got one crazy record. Like every time she got a crazy record, it's just like, you know, you got to put the right pieces in the situation for it to work. So I'll say Rain to me off rip. You got like, for example, in Providence, Swifty, Hennessy, Mo Bangers, like
Mo Bangers,
Mo Bangers, that's my brother.
My guy, yeah.
Like, you know, like his older brothers, like real respected dudes from around my way, like always show like hella love. So like, and I grew up with his sister, like cousins. So like Mo Bangers, he's like one of the people like I feel like, again, when you go back to talking about the niches, most people like, I told him, as I say, yo man, in Rhode Island, people are gonna fuck with you just off of who your family is. And they're not even really realizing the spaces that you're moving in. Like, yo, this dude got records with Yeet.
I'm
like,
hooked.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm hooked.
Like from years ago.
Tight,
like,
yeah.
You know, like, so they're not really understanding like
how big of a deal that is.
You know? I'll also say like, yo, obviously, like, yo, my brother Hill Holler, like he got the 2 side shit with Av.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they've been doing that. So Av going crazy. They going crazy with
that whole
Chasing
team,
Cash.
yep.
Nate Speaks,
Yep.
Yana G, like Word Speak Life. That's a whole, you know, like
yeah, we was with them a couple weeks ago on the pause. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
we know.
like, you know, like
what
I see what the camp that they got over there brewing and what Chase and Cam and them is like really pushing them through, right?
Yep.
Also in Rhode Island, you got APF the label. Like my brother D Gomes, like he's really like
Cape Verdean too.
Cape
tell from
Verdean.
last
You know,
name.
like yo, my next door neighbor growing up. But like with him, you know, like yo, he done a lot of artists that you seeing that's moving from Rhode Island. You know, like he transitioned to the executive side. Like yo, like D Gomes, he had a record with King OSF a few years ago. Like to me, there was like the 2 artists that represented what it meant to be from Providence. Like what it really meant to be like, I'm outside, people know me, I'm moving around in the spaces, I'm comfortable, and I got hot records.
And I'm curious to know, especially, what's up?
I was about to say, like, you been getting off a lot of questions. This some shit I want to throw his
Oh,
way
but
too.
I want to throw just one more out there too that I think is a wild card in Boston right now, and I think people's not really observing what they got going on. Club Indigo.
They're very much. That goes
like,
the homies. Yeah,
like, you know what I'm
they
saying?
doing,
Like what they got going right now.
Speaking of subgenres, like they doing their
Exactly.
thing within that.
I think they're creating like a whole space, and it's starting to click.
And they're doing the events now too, like what's it called?
Deep Cut.
Deep Cut. Yeah, they doing
crazy.
that. That's next week.
I mean, like Pro, like to me, like Pro, like a genius with this shit.
Multifaceted.
And it was like, yo, like, bro, like, yo, Sansa, she's sitting on the album, crazy.
Word.
Crazy. Like, so it's a lot of shit brewing. And it's like, you know, like, then you got, and even in Boston, like the OG, the Christmas, the Stiz, Millie's, Beer, yo, it's a lot of.
They out of here.
It's a lot.
Those folks is out of here.
But you gonna see it's gonna be a whole new energy.
This was here a couple weeks ago for like the event that they're holding in the South End. I forget what the name of the event was, but he was performing and all that. Like
he had
like
his own festival in like 2 weeks.
They found a rescheduled date.
It's in October. I don't know if they announced it yet, but
okay.
But
you know now. But it's the Commonwealth, the Commonwealth Festival.
Can't put a name to it. Can't put a name to it.
I'll be there.
All right, word. All right, look, I know you.
Because it's
no. I'm cutting you off. I'm asking my
How you gonna cut
question,
me off to the cutoff?
and then you gonna do whatever you gotta do because I feel like it's a good question for follow up with it. Because you occupy both spaces, how different is the Boston music scene and the Providence music scene? Like, how would you describe those things, or do you think they're very similar?
It's different because it's 2 different cultures. Like, I don't think, you know, Providence is a very Dominican city, Spanish city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Dominicans, they run Providence. And like the way I always describe the cultures between Providence and Boston, although I feel Boston has changed a lot since y'all have had Mayor Wu, I feel like she getting shit she letting shit be active right now.
Yeah.
I always say like Providence is like the cool cousin of Boston. In the sense, like I'm not
Boston
saying
less cool.
No, I'm not. I'm not shitting on Boston. What I'm saying
now,
is
Boston's nightlife don't compare to Providence for sure. Though.
I'm saying like culturally, Providence been a place where anything goes. The cool cousin is like, yo, the cousin's crib that you could go to, and they got the
He's
Super
smoking you up for the first time.
Yeah, they got Super Nintendo. They got your mom don't let you do none of that shit. Hey, well, you could come to Providence. Nigga, we got the Afties. We got every. You know what I'm saying? Where Boston is like, is very prim, is very proper. They're not letting you do certain stuff in the city. Where like, in Providence, is anything goes. You know?
Yeah, what's up with the club regulations out there, man? No bullshit.
Yo.
Why they be letting them teenage girls in there, man?
Yo. Oof. See, I don't know nothing
what
about
type
that.
of parties y'all got going on?
I don't know.
Because
they got like 18-year-old clubs.
So Providence is crazy because actually there is really no more 18 plus clubs anymore, but that was a big thing like in the 2000s and before, where you had like the ultra level 2 Karma, where it was 18 plus clubs, and you would have heavy Massachusetts. So like you always knew like back in the day it was like Providence people wasn't really beefing in the clubs. It was always like Boston niggas,
facts.
Brooklyn
I've
Bringing
seen
that
some crazy
beef over
videos. I don't know
there.
if they're from Providence.
No,
but I seen some
nah,
crazy
no,
videos.
Boston niggas bringing
Boston,
that shit.
it's Boston niggas at that time that was leaving the city,
coming over there and
coming
doing what
over
they
there,
do.
but they
Getting
thinking
that
they're
shit
not going
off,
to see
yeah.
their smoke in
Yeah.
Providence, and
shit
then
goes up.
it's a
There we
problem.
go.
Yeah.
But
get
I
it.
would say that's the difference.
I see.
I agree with that for sure. I get your shit off then.
Yeah, nah, cause like what I wanted to bring up. Well, there's a couple things, but the first one more so first of all, you got this website that I feel like have crafted it in a very transparent way. You feel me? I think it's very reflective and just very, reflective of who you are as a person, right? And you have this one post in your blog where you say blogs aren't dead, right? Which I think a lot of people be like, nah, the blog era is dead. You feel me?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I wanted to know, like, what do you feel like has been the shift in social media from like when you was doing shit way, way back, like even 12 years ago in 2012 to now? You feel me? Like, how's that been like? What's the changes been like? How do you navigate it?
I think the biggest change is it's just more noise. So it's harder to shift through the stuff. It's like, like, I give you an example. Like, to me, New York City was Instagram before Instagram.
How so?
Elaborate. Yeah, I'm not with you yet.
And what I mean by that was New York is where you had to go to see what the fuck is going on in the world. You want to see how niggas is dressing.
Fashion,
you want to hear the new music, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, New York was that. Like, and I think Instagram took away the allure from New York for a little while. Like, New York was like a very like place where it's like, yo, if you know, you know. Like, like it was so many, and there is still a lot of layers to New York that you're not gonna find on the internet. But it's like now, people making TikToks like, oh, like this underground, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Transparent. Yeah.
And no longer on the underground. Like,
Everything's in the open, right? And I feel like Instagram has become the place. Instagram and TikTok became the place where now people seeing, yo, what's going on in the world. Like, I don't have to physically go somewhere to see how niggas is dressing. You know what I'm saying? So I think Instagram changed everything, bro. Yeah. Cause I'm gonna tell you this, like, if you want to think about like on some fashion shit, look at how some niggas was dressed. Like, there's people right now, you see they like, they're a fashion person, blah, blah. They doing they fit pics every day. Go look at how they was dressing before Instagram. Think about it. Just go look at the difference. Yeah. Like, it's like, how did we get from that to this?
Well, naturally, before Instagram was probably like 10, 12 years ago. Fashion gonna change regardless.
Before
niggas
started getting active,
like, niggas wasn't like, yo, if you've been fly, it don't matter if it was Instagram, if it was magazines. Like, yo, niggas been like, you could see who really been doing this for a long time. And it's like right now, I just think the main thing that's changed is that people can't tell the difference.
It's too homogenous. Like
that's the word I use.
All right, there we go. Yeah, like, again, music used to be divided by regional sounds and the fashion too. So it's just like, it's a good and a bad thing that the internet opened the doors for people to just have accessibility to all of those things, because I do think it's dope to be able to know what's going on in Cali without having to actually be in Cali, but it does take away from something when you just someone outside of the culture now kind of jacks it without, I don't know, whether they not outside, whether they're not appreciating it for what it is, but it's just, I don't know. Again, when I talk about the CD collections and everything, there was something to, you got 5 CDs in the disc drive, like, what's year 5 looking like? Because year 5 don't look like his 5, and it's not gonna look like his 5, and it's not gonna look like your 5.
To y'all point, the early thing that you said about tastemaker, right? I think when you think about like the blog era, like what niggas consider like Two Dope Boys, Nah Right, like all those like websites, I think
Hot New Hip Hop,
that was like a very interesting time in curation. Because it was like, it was still very based on people's taste. Like, it was, it wasn't algorithmic driven. Yeah. It was like, Two Dope Boys, shout to Mecca. That's my brother. Like, me and him was in the DJ group together, all that. Like, Mecca, like they get, Two Dope Boys, they get credit for Kendrick. They get credit for Drake. the J. Cole, like all those artists say like, yo, if it wasn't for Two Dope Boys, you know, like we might not be where we at.
Yeah.
And then you look at like even Tyler dissing him they open up the album, fuck Two Dope Boys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how much that cosign meant, bro, at that time. We're like, yo, right now I would say like we don't really have, I think the average person, everybody think that they the person with the most taste now. And that to me is the real change. Like right now, bro, like
everybody thinks their opinion matters.
I think social media has put it in a place where everyone feels like they have a platform. And
we do.
They're speaking to an audience, which I agree. I think they do. I think what's really, because I think the way we're speaking about it right now, there's a couple points in it that kind of sound negative, like, oh, like, you know, there's too much culture blending and stuff like that.
I'm hating.
I think there's a beauty in it too.
I want to go back to finding my music on
there's
magazines.
So much accessibility.
Reading double XL
now.
reviews.
You feel me? That like I could go on someone's Instagram page and it's like they're constantly doing shit that I can engage in and pay attention with, and I don't even know them. And it's cool to me that it's like, yo, I can connect with you without ever meeting you. It's crazy to me. I think there's a real beauty in it. I think it makes the world feel so much smaller than what it really is. I think, even to your point earlier when you're talking about, you know, like, you're not outside for real, a lot of people don't have to be because they're popping digitally.
Yeah,
they're in the outside world digitally. You feel me? It's like they're connecting with millions of people and we don't even know who they are. You could be walking past someone right now and they got 30,000 followers on Instagram.
That's a fact.
It's crazy.
It's a fact.
So like,
I
don't know how to understand it. I still don't know how to understand it, to be honest.
And I think this is where a lot of older people get upset, is because, bro, we in a point right now where, yo, the internet does matter.
It does.
So it's a lot of people that weren't able to make the transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there was like, yo, like maybe I was a poppin' mixtape DJ or something like that. And now I don't understand Twitch. I don't understand Instagram. I don't understand TikTok. And they hating because they shit not moving no more.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, bro, like that's why I said you can't get caught up in the medium. Like if you so caught up in like, bro, it need to be magazines again. I mean, niggas are still making magazines though. Like,
I hear you.
You could go to.
I'm not buying them, so I'm being a hypocrite in a way. Yeah.
You know, like, and that's my thing. Like
while we do this on a podcast, it's gonna be digitally distributed online. Yeah,
you know, like this is the new radio. This is, so like we so caught up on a medium. It's like, yo, fuck the medium, man. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, it's all gonna come back. Like, it's the same way. Like, yo, before there's niggas who was like, yo, they went from, and what I'm saying is like, music is music, right? Whether it's on an 8-track, whether it's on a cassette, whether it's on vinyl, whether it's on a mini disc, whether it's an MP3 or a wave, it's just music. And that's how we have to treat it, instead of being like, I'm not listening to music unless it's on a cassette. Like, you know, like, it's crazy, bro.
I think that's another thing I want to bring up to you too. I feel like I would love to know what you have seen for yourself in terms of like the shifts. Cause I feel like if you use Instagram, for example, right? When Instagram first came out, it felt very silly. You know, people were like, whatever they ate for breakfast, they'll take a picture of it and post it on their Instagram.
That's a fact. That's what I was thinking. Was like, damn, Instagram changed a lot.
And then eventually it became a little more mysterious, more, what's the word? I think you could even say like scripted. Like, okay, I'm intentionally, you know, putting on my best fit to get off this picture, you know, like create this persona and this, you know, like this identity. And then I feel like now it's kind of like a mix of both, where there's a lot of transparency. It could be someone posting like, here's my summer recap, and it's a bunch of cool things that they're doing. At the same time, you know, they're showing off a lot of artistic, you know, endeavors and stuff like that they're getting into. How is that shift been like for you?
Instagram, bro, to me, Instagram is the new magazine. And that's how I look at Instagram. And the people who understand, like, from a business, like, also you got to understand what are you using these things for, right?
Sure.
Like, yo, the average person, they're not, you know, it's like, I'm just a regular person. Yeah. I'm using this to engage with people.
My family and friends of 10.
I'm not talking about them people. I'm not, you know, but them people, I'm not talking about them. Sure. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a creative, you're a business or whatever, Instagram is a magazine. And all of these things that you're doing, like, I think the disconnect too with the young artists, before I say this next point, with the young artists and like younger people, is that likes is a currency to them. So attention is a currency, but they're not leveraging that currency to do anything. So like, yo, they're not making any money. So like the same way when you look at a magazine, all this stuff that's in the magazine is to get our attention so they can sell advertisements.
For sure.
Right? And that's how they make money. So when you look at Instagram, it's people, they just doing shit for attention.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not driving you anywhere. And that's the point. Like that platform you use has to be a vehicle to get somebody somewhere. Where you trying to go? You trying to get me to your music? You trying to get me to your shop? You trying to get me to your playlist? Whatever it is. Again, something just doing it for the engagement. And it's like, now we got, I don't know.
And that's why niggas be angry on the internet all the time. Because, they not making no money. If you really think about it, it's like, I'm doing all content. I'm not making no money. So that to me is what I think is people are not like, Instagram has allowed us to have more visibility and reach more people, but it's also stripped the value of things that we used to just sell.
I think that's interesting too, because like I think the struggle a lot of artists go through is like trying to fight the idea of like becoming a content creator while also being an artist, because it doesn't feel genuine to the actual identity.
You feel like you're playing the game
artist,
at that
you know
point.
What I mean? And I don't know, because like it makes the art feel as if you're really just creating something for people to just consume and not actually, engage with and actually like,
But let's be real, man.
Grow attached to.
So it's two things. It's like there's the music business, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's art.
That's why here's an idea. Do it. And not expecting it to replace your job or getting rich off of it. Just do it because you like it. And if you dope enough, it could take you somewhere. But I think, and maybe that's where my real gripe comes from, is just everybody wants to be everything at this point. And I think it just takes away from the real talent. You just blocking shine from people who just really dope at shit because you just feel like
It's a lot of noise. It's a
lot.
And it's tough too, because you could also tell that people, I think it comes down to it's you see it across the board. It's not just with people who are creating, it's also with the consumer. I think people they genuinely just don't enjoy what it is that they're doing. And I mean, people are listening to music and I feel like what they're hearing, they might like it in like bits and pieces, but they're not listening to shit that they enjoy. You feel me? They're just listening to shit that's popular, and then they're doing shit that's popular. They're doing shit that's what they're supposed to be doing. But it's like there's no value in it for them either.
To your point though, I feel like the people who are making people feel things, they're the ones that's winning.
For sure. That'll never go away.
Like, and that's to me is like what we always gotta, regardless of what you're doing, you always gotta tap into. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, people can't take away who you are and what you bring. So niggas could copy you, they could do all that. But as long as you to me, I feel like as long as you're making people feel something, they're always gonna resonate.
Nah, it's the fact.
Sure.
I mean, that's how you talked about this when you're talking about Frank Ocean, right? Where it's like, nigga don't need to make music no more. The shit that he put out, like the shit means something to people because like niggas felt something when they listened to it. Niggas felt something when he was telling that story, when he was going about it in the way that he was going about it. It's tough now because then, like I went to the Lucky Day concert not too long ago. Lucky Day is one of my favorite artists. Like you could see like people in the crowd, like who had maybe never seen him perform, maybe they knew a couple songs. They was like, oh no, like this nigga actually be like singing this shit. Like he really care about the crowd. Like this is crazy. Cause niggas like, I never been to an R&B show like this. Cause you go to other R&B shows and it's like, oh yeah, nigga.
Shit terrible.
Nigga just here. Like this shit don't even feel like an R&B like environment. It's just a nigga up there doing his thing. And it's like, that's cool. But like you can really, when you feel something, like you can create like an environment and you curate like your fan base to really like appreciate the art again. You know what I'm saying? Not just because it's coming from you. You feel me? Because you made them feel. You know what I'm saying? But then it also becomes tricky because then they start looking for it other places and they might not get it. So then I feel like then the consumer is almost like they're in like a cycle. You know what I'm saying?
I think like with artists, man, and I would say like all of us, like artists, creative, right?
Yeah.
Is you gotta go fuck with the people who are fucking with what you're trying to put in the world.
Yeah.
Like the problem is like we trying to convince niggas who want to eat McDonald's to appreciate
like a steak or something.
Like, it's like, yo, bro, like I'm not, there's people who do that. And if you want to go consume that, you can go do it. You know what I'm saying?
That means you also had to be honest with yourself about what you're creating though.
No, it's a fact.
Because a lot of niggas, they be the McDonald's and they're claiming that it's like a steak and they're trying to sell it to steak niggas and like, my nigga, you making a McDonald's.
And they be mad their reviews ain't hitting.
Yeah.
But it's like this McDonald's, there's niggas that will appreciate that. You just got to go to them. Like you're selling, like you're saying you're selling to the wrong. But I think it does start with identifying what it is that you're creating. Not just the value and the quality, but also.
asking niggas to have too much self-awareness, bro.
Is that too hard to ask?
I think.
No, you're not wrong. That's a fact.
But everyone should go to that journey at some point in their life to understand what that is for them.
That's a fact.
Like,
eventually, yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
I think like, yo, bro, self-awareness is is everything.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Especially as an artist. You know what I mean? You got to.
Nigga, as a person.
But you know what I've realized?
Some niggas get through though.
In 34 years of life, man, like, bro, a lot of people don't have self-awareness.
Yeah.
We double your age, still don't got it. It's crazy.
You know?
It's crazy. But going back to your journey, like we talked about you just being that guy who had the studio in his basement. How did it eventually go from creating music to curating it to the point now owning a club? Like, take us through that journey and just the mind shifts that went along with you growing up, and obviously your life circumstances changed naturally as an adult and everything, and how that shifted, the things you were doing.
I think the biggest blessing, right? Like, a lot of people, they always tell me, bro, if you came to New York, you'll be one of the biggest DJs over here. You come to this city, you'll be this, you'll be that, blah, blah. You should leave Rhode Island. Like, like, everybody, like, I hear this all the time, right?
Yeah.
And, I have, as an individual, like, in my DJ career, like, I have DJed some of the biggest parties in the country. Some of the biggest events. Like, bro, I played in the Barclays Center. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's dope.
Like, I tour with Duce Palooza, all this shit.
I was about to say, is that a part of, like, Henny and Duce Palooza?
Yeah, I toured with them for a long time. Like, but the thing is, the benefit I feel like being in New England gave me is like...
Were you... No,
what you about to say?
Were you there at the Barclays when Fabio's shit was ringing?
Yo, that was the last Duce Palooza, yeah.
Really? Yeah.
That's when it was like... Bro, it was...
He had his whole squad on stage.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
What was that song? Damn, it was a joint.
Is it not Big Drip?
Yeah, Big Drip, exactly. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you though. Like, that show, it was so much shit going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a crazy... For that, I don't even think it was intended for that to be the last Duce. Yeah. But the fact that it was, you know what I mean? Like, so bro, I be thinking about that shit looking back of like, well, I be looking at the flyer like, yo, like, damn, niggas was really a part of history. You know? But to bring it back, like, to bring it back, like, I think when being from New England, being from Providence, being from a place where, there is no music industry, right? There is no building that you could go to and get $100,000, $1 million. There's nowhere you could go and say, yo, I'm an artist, I'm a DJ, I'm this, give me this money to do this, right? So I've always had to create off of necessity. So like, and if I was in New York, I'm a rapper, I could go to DJ Clue, I could go to a DJ, get hot on their mixtape, then they gonna take me to the label, and I'm gonna get a deal, right?
Sure.
Over here, it's like
there's no pipeline.
There's no pipeline. So, bro, I went from selling CDs out of necessity. It's like I'm selling CDs because I want people to hear me, right? Then I want to promote myself in high school, so I throw a party. 600 kids come out. It's like, oh shit, like, I guess we doing parties now.
We doing something, yeah.
I always wanted to be a DJ. I didn't have the money. Like, at that time it was very expensive to be a DJ because you couldn't just buy a controller. You needed turntable, blah, blah, all this shit. So I get to college. I finally, after throwing enough parties and working and shit like that, I have enough money to buy turntables.
But you're not the DJ at these parties.
Nah,
you're just throwing them.
I become the DJ.
Is it you and friends, or you just doing this like solo?
Me and friends. Okay, like, for sure. Shout out to my brother Stan. Like, me and him started together. My brother Dan started together. My boy DJ ASAP, who was one of my homies, older brothers, DJ'd like my first party. Right. And we would just tap in with like all like the dope people from around the way to DJ.
So what time period is this too, just to give it context?
So my first party is November 2006.
Okay.
At a spot called the Black Rep.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm a junior in high school at this point. So I'm like 16 years old. Shit goes crazy, like whatever. I go to school the next Monday. Teachers think we selling. Teachers think we selling drugs because it's like, like at this time it's like I got a few racks in my book bag, and it's not like I'm not leaving this at home. Like, nigga, this is anywhere I'm going. This is on me.
I'm curious to know, like, what did it even take to throw that first party? Because like that's a challenge in itself. Maybe it gets easier as you do it, because now you got money to be able to book the venue and all that. But what did it take just to even get that first party done? Was that the hardest party? And then it gets easier, or
I think it was like, one, we was crazy enough to think that we could do it. And secondly, somebody took a chance on us to allow us to do it.
Yeah, venue
God rest her soul. Her name was Mikael. Like she passed like from cancer like a few years ago, but she worked at this venue, the Black Rep. After football practice, we would walk by this shit like every day. And I just seen on the windows like, oh, they rent it to do events. Boom, sent them an email. It's like, oh, you got the money to rent it. You got, you guys could do the party. But
they put the trust in some 11th graders.
Yeah, but now it's like looking back, I'm like, she was wild. She was wilding. But yo, they fucked with us, and like that shit changed my life forever.
Right.
So like, that's like 2006. We do the party, and then this became. Now people, yo, when's the next one? When's the next one? I ended up meeting a local legendary DJ. Like that same Monday that I'm telling you about, I went back to school, right? So I'm in school, teachers, they thinking we selling drugs because we got all this money, niggas buying everything in the snack line. Like, but I had this one teacher, God rest her soul, Mrs. Kluss. Like, she was like, what do you got? Like, just being curious, like, oh, like, what are you guys doing? How did you make this money? Blah, blah, this, that, and the third. I was like, oh yeah, we threw this party. And she was like, oh, like, how much money did you make? So I told her, and she was like, yo, I didn't make that much money this whole month.
Wow.
Shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So when she told me that, it was like,
the profit margins were looking that good on the parties?
Back then.
What you gotta do? You gotta pay for the venue. You gotta
the DJ, the flyer, that's it.
That's
and shout to the homie Tito that owned Fat Wings, he paid for my flyers. You know what I'm saying? Just have to put his logo on the flyer.
There you go.
He
after that, everything else is straight profit.
So after school, I go to Fat Wings, the same spot, because we used to be in there every day. So we go up to the dude, like, for the party. I'm like, yo, we put you on a flyer. You want to sponsor our shit? Like, how much the flyers? He gives us the money. Now we got 5,000 flyers, right? Wow. So I go to Fat Wings after school, like we used to do every day after football practice. $5 student special, wings, fries, and a drink. You know what I'm saying? Bussing every day after school on Broad Street. I go in there, and my flyer is still on the counter. And it's a legendary local DJ by the name of DJ Ruckus that was in there, and he's looking at the flyer. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm like, I go up to him like, oh, that was my party.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I've been hearing about this party, but he's older. So like, by the time I'm not even knowing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, oh shit, like he just a legend around our way. Like, everybody been talking about how crazy this party was. Yeah. And this is like Sidekick 2 era. So it's not no Instagram story, TikTok, none of that shit.
It's word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yeah. So he like, yo, I heard it's crazy. He's like, yo, we gotta work. So I take his aim, and then these
is the days, bro.
So he had a, so then I
remember my aim. It's crazy.
Nigga 7 years old.
No, I was really on the aim, bro.
The aim was a man. Yo, that was back then.
In middle school,
niggas wasn't texting. Like
I was on aim on my PSP actually. No bullshit.
PSP was classic. Bro. Classic. But like Sidekick 2, like, bro, that's like when cell phones was like T9 texting. We didn't, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't, niggas didn't text. It was straight aim. Yeah. So he ended up putting us on with like a play like a few months later, like December vacation or whatever, because the party's November, December. We do the party with him. We do another party at a legendary club in Providence called Level 2. Now this one, 800 kids come out during December vacation, like the day after Christmas. Crazy.
So what's the secret sauce about these parties? Like, why parties the one that everybody's like, yo, this is the one to go to? Was it something you?
I mean, was there other people doing this?
I can't.
That young?
Or is it more the people that you were attracting? You were making sure to go to the people that had,
I will be lying to you if I could say like an exact reason, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna give you like kind of like a lay of the land of like Providence and how this works, right? Sure. So me, I'm an East Side kid. I'm born on East Side, born and raised Camp Street. Providence is like a few different sides, like similar how like in Boston you have Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every side got their own thing, right?
Yep.
So I'm born and raised East Side. I go to elementary school on the East Side, like most kids in my neighborhood. But then when middle school comes, I go to a school across town because I was like in a gifted program.
Yeah.
So I go to this school. So now they putting me with like people from all the smartest kids from every neighborhood, right?
Yep.
Then I go So now I'm known. Before then, I didn't know nobody outside my neighborhood, right?
Okay.
But then I'm Cape Verdean, right?
Yep.
So I know niggas from Pawtucket because Pawtucket's heavy Cape Verdean.
Sure.
I know people from East Providence because it's a lot of Cape Verdeans, right? So when it come time to do the party, like one of the people that I'm partnered with too, my boy Stan, he's a year older than me. He's from Brooklyn. He play football. He know, same thing. He know people from all over the place.
The network is crazy.
So, and we will bunk school at this time to go pass out flyers at all the high schools. You know what I'm saying? So, and also another thing to think about this time is the parties were like in rec centers and like house parties. Like that's how niggas was getting it off. Like we were like really in our generation, some of the first niggas our age to throw parties in a actual
venue.
spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? In a real spot. And that's really how we turned it up after that. Because that was like, we didn't go to the recs and all that. Like we brought it straight to the club. You know?
Sure, that's dope. Yeah. All right. So where does it go from there?
So from there, we link with Ruckus. We doing parties. The shit's like crazy. Summertime comes. And the irony of this story is like the club where we were doing this party in the summertime every Sunday is the club that I own now.
Oh wow.
So this club used to be called
The one that gave you the chance.
No, this is a whole nother spot.
Okay.
So this is like Sunday night. Another Ruckus comes to us. He's like, yo, we killed it. We did a few of these parties. There's this club. They gonna give us Sunday night. We gonna put a little team together every Sunday in the summertime. We gonna be doing this spot. So we're like, I bet. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is like extra. Like this is like get fly money to us.
Yeah.
Like, so we like, we do it.
Niggas touching a lot of bread at this age. That's
So we lock in. We do the every Sunday, and that to me is really what turned me up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this niggas till this day that still talk about like, bro, tantric on Sunday, like all ages, crazy. You know?
So then 6 years down the line, 2012, you and other people started up Stay Silent.
Yeah.
How'd that come about?
So in college, I get to college, I start DJing. Freshman, I start DJing. Doing like house parties, frat party, whatever. Like any party I could DJ, I'm over there and I'm around all the DJs because I'm in the party space. So like now, I already know music and shit, but like I'm just earning my stripes, moving around, doing shit. So this is like when college parties is heavy. So like at this time, like you have like URI, like same way how UMass was known for like Blackout Weekend.
Yeah.
URI is on the same time.
Gotcha.
So like right now when you see me link with niggas like DJ Real P Franchise who became Young Paul, like I know these niggas from URI.
Gotcha.
UMass. Like we was doing parties all, you know what I mean? Like we were like the people of that age doing the parties. So when we're, I'm in URI, we got URI turned up going crazy. Like me and my business, who eventually became my business partner, Sabrina, like we started this shit called, and at the time we were still doing the parties with the same group from college. From high school. So now it's like, we just older, but we doing parties. I'm in an organization called Brothers on a New Direction, Bond. I'm the events chair. So I'm programming like all the parties, bringing DJs from New York, DJs from Boston. We start this thing called Oktoberfest weekend. It was like 3 days of like partying back, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, buses coming from all these different schools and shit, right? So that was like the first thing that me and Sabrina really worked on because she was in an organization called Pink Women. So that was like the first thing that we really like locked in together and worked on. So then I bring her, like she started working with us like on the Block Stars side of stuff. That's like what we used to call ourselves, like the other parties we was doing. So now we're like juniors in college, we getting to seniors, we about to graduate. And at that time, like the way you partied in high school, like in college was different than like the type of parties that were going on in clubs. So like at that time, like say like Drake, like hood niggas would be like, oh, Drake, that's that college music.
Oh, okay, I see.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Like, it's certain stuff that's like, it just didn't work in every space. So like we in college, we listen to everything, bro. Like Wiz Khalifa, Drake, Big Sean,
But the clubs
Wale.
didn't get it.
Yeah, like
you feel like they was behind, if anything, than from the college scene.
It just wasn't their culture, you know what I'm saying? But we still deal with the clubs there. So like that was like the essence of like what Stay Silent was. Like, yo, we graduated, we're about to graduate, and yo, there's nothing that really speaks to us and the people that we graduated with. Like, so that's how Stay Silent came about.
Sounds like you knew nothing about the broke college life. This nigga was up.
Nah, I can't, man. Different. Different.
And in my mind, I'm thinking like before I knew like how you got started with the DJ, and I'm thinking like, oh, this man's just a hustler. He trying to increase his profits. I'm gonna pay for me to be the DJ instead. But no, it ended up being.
I mean, bro, before anything, I love music.
Yeah.
So I don't look at none of this as like anything I do is like I don't look at it as like to cut an expense or like a cash grab. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is like, it's just like about being dope. Like even when I first started DJing, I wasn't putting myself to close my party. Like, cause I knew I wasn't that guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
that's self-awareness. That goes back to that, yeah.
A lot of niggas need to learn that, bro. No bullshit. I've been sick of going to niggas' events, bro, and you be the worst performer on the bill, but you last. I'm like, I'm not staying, right?
First of all, last ain't always the best either at all. I'd rather have that middle segment right there before everybody get tired and want to go home.
It's a fact.
For sure.
It's a fact. But
depends on the venue.
It's a fact. What you saying is to me is a fact.
Yeah. So how did Day Trill and all that come together?
So Day Trill.
Am I skipping years?
No, it's not skipping because
correct me from the
Stay Silent.
timeline.
So when Stay Silent starts, is like, how do we create something that's like, and we're not necessarily thinking about it like this, but it's like the anti-club, if that makes sense. Like
what is causing that idea?
What the club was at that time.
At that time, yeah.
So at that time, so this is 2012. So to paint the scene is like ASAP Rocky, Purple Swag, Peso, 2 Chainz is coming out, early Young Thug, Travis Scott, all of these artists. You know what I'm saying? It's that energy, right?
You can feel a new wave is coming.
Yeah, I mean it's already happening, but niggas ain't. They're
not breaking it in their regions yet.
Exactly.
Besides where they're coming from, yeah.
So for us, like our first event that we do is in an art gallery. We do a Rockefeller art gallery. Like, it's basically like how do we bring Tumblr to real life? Like, so we take all these fire images of like Rockefeller because me and Sabrina, we both love Rockefeller, and I feel like our generation, like we had like a crazy love for like Rockefeller, right? So we do the Rockefeller art gallery. We playing nothing but Jay-Z, all the Rockefeller shit. Like we in an art gallery, we vibing. That's the energy.
Yep.
So, it was like niggas didn't really, it wasn't like a crazy, it's like 40 people, 50 people. It wasn't like a crazy function, but it was like, yo, this is some fly shit.
Yeah.
So like, that's the thing. Like me and all of our friends that we were working with at that time in all of our spaces, we were just trying to do fly shit. So then, like the next event that we do is like a brunch called I'm bugging. We do a party called 808s and Twerk Tapes. So this is also
808s and Twerk Tapes?
So this is around the time of, Kanye, all that shit going crazy.
Kanye meets 2 Chainz.
So 808s and Twerk Tapes was like a party that was like, it's like the anti-Valentine's Day party. We want to play all of the trap music. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a smart idea, even for all the people who ain't got a date for that night.
Yeah, so we do it like, February anti thing. And so that was like one of the parties, right? And then we do a party. It was like, we want to do like a little day party type situation. There's like, niggas didn't even really know what a day, what a day party was at that time. Like, so like, even us, like the first day party we did, Day Trill was 12 to 6. And 30 people came. Everybody was showing up at 5 o'clock.
Because everybody got work.
Yeah, but then that's why the following year, the first Day Trill was only like 30 people. The following year, it's like 200, 300 people because we move it from 4 to 10.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so we saying like, but at this time when all this stuff is first happening, bro, like to go to your thing for Day Trill is like when we ideating what Day Trill is, God rest his soul, like one of the first DJs I ever wanted to book for Day Trill is ASAP J. Scott, who was ASAP Rocky's DJ, Cozy Boys. Yep. This is even before Cozy Boys.
No
So like,
nigga wanted to go, no bullshit.
Yeah, so
Niggas
when you
don't know about him.
yeah, so
He's full
nah,
of shit.
ill, man.
Real
So like when you think about like even like the word day Trill, like Trill comes
I never
directly
knew.
from that era.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't put
that
two and two together.
Like now it don't. I feel like people don't perceive it that way because it's much bigger. But at that time, it's like, yo, man, it's me and my boy Born Casual, white boy. Like he like the first. He honestly Born Casual opened my mind too because shout out to my man Hill Holla. Hill Holla, he used to go check out white boy Born Casual DJing at this spot called the Salon, Local 121. And so he'll like, yo, let's just pull up. Like, yo, he just be playing all the shit we like, Gucci Mane. like this white boy playing all this crazy shit, right?
Tapped in.
So we go there, and I said, but this is the difference. Is like, as a black DJ, we could never do that. We could never go to a club and play trap shit for 4 hours because niggas gonna start fighting. Or that was the perception at that time. Like, so like, back
But
in the
what
day,
about the women? You got catered to the women with the dance music too.
hold
though.
on, but this is my thing. We'll go to Born Casual parties. It's guys and girls in there going crazy to this shit.
All 4 hours.
Yeah, so like we do 808s and twerk takes. We link up. It's like, bro, me and him, we play Young Thug. What's the shit? The Danny Glover. There's one year me and him DJ'd. We played that shit 17 times in the party, bro. But this is when Young Thug is like, you don't go to the club and hear Young Thug.
Thanks.
So it was like, yo, Danny Brown, you don't hear this in the club. And that's the energy that we was tapping.
Play Danny Brown in the club.
In a club, like in a party. I don't even know if you would call that the club, like the club, but it was in a party. We were like, that's the space that we had created.
That gotta be fun as a DJ when you know you got that one track that like, if I turn this shit on, everybody about to go fucking crazy.
That used to be, yo, Danny Glover, bro. Like that night, and it's also this crazy because, again, this is pre-Instagram story, so it's not like it's no videos or any of this shit of this. Like, but people who are in that room, they'll tell you.
You
like,
have to be there. Yeah,
they're like, yo, these niggas played Young Thug 17 times. Like, we would just be like, yo, the party would be lit. Like, yo, play that shit.
What about the 17th time makes you go, that's it?
Like,
how do you stop at that?
Like the party, it was like the end of the party.
Gotcha.
But was you playing it through or was it like first hook, then we gotta throw it back?
Like, you know, like bringing it, like, because niggas is moshing going crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that was that era. That's how like all of that stuff started. It was like the anti-bottle service, the anti, you know what I mean?
I'd love to have like just a list of songs like through the years that was like, if that rang off, it's over. Like I'm sure Dreams and Nightmares is on that.
Yeah, Dream Night is universal.
Sure, like, but
yo, another song I think about, Young Thug, Check. Oh my God.
Check, yeah.
That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, yo, bro.
Both of those are Barter 6?
Yeah, Barter 6, yeah.
Yo, like early, like we talking about like Future, like Beast Mode, 56 Nights.
Yup.
Like, what was the other
thing? March Mad, you could throw that on. That was
on,
one of those
man.
ones too.
Yeah, like, yo, that era right there. Yo, tell you, like, 21 Savage, Slaughter Tape, like,
No Heart.
That's
No Slaughter Tape.
I seen
No
21
Heart
in Providence. That was my like first rap show.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So you want to hear some funny? You talking about the one at Lupo's?
Was it Lupo's? I don't know. This was like 20. He had just done that joint with Drake. So this is a little bit. It was 2017 probably.
So that's right after I did the documentary with 21 Savage. So I'm gonna tell you some shit crazy about this show. So that show, shout out to my man Frank. He owns the spot. The Strand is called Lupo's now.
The Strand. That's what it. Lupo's didn't connect to my mind. It was the Strand.
It was at the Strand, right? It's a Lil Yachty concert. So again, at this time, Lil Yachty is like.
He's not Lil Yachty yet,
it's like,
sure.
you know, it's like some hipster shit. Like,
he's not the cool Yachty that we know now.
No, he's cool, but he's not cool to everybody.
Yeah.
It's
It's niche. It's very niche.
Red braids with the colorful beads.
I'm gonna tell you two funny stories about. So that shirt, that red Bape polo that he's wearing on that shit, right? It's a store in LA called 3P. 3P, like if you really a Bape head, you know 3P LA. They got everything Bape. Anything Bape you look at, 3P and Pondon in that era, that's where you get all the Bape from Japan from. Like not the shit that they got stateside, all the shit from Japan. So I go to LA. I'm in LA with a trip. It's me, my man Tan, and we're both of our girls. They're cousins. And we're in LA, and and 3P is appointment only. So
that's crazy.
I make an appointment to go to 3P. I want to go buy this red camo vape all over thing. I prepay it.
I was about to say there's probably no window shopping if you schedule an
you
appointment.
you have to go there. You have to buy. I buy it, right? Make the appointment just so I could go look at some other shit. They sent me an email. They said, "Yo, it's no like whatever. We actually sold it. It's not available." Go on Instagram. Lil Yachty, they were Lil Yachty with the red. Like that, and that shit became so iconic.
Yeah.
Like that photo became so iconic. Yeah. But I was sick.
That could have been yours.
That's my shit.
That was my shit that they sold to me. I paid for it.
I paid for your shit.
I was sick, bro. So that's
probably doubled whatever you was paying for it.
And it's Lil Yachty. I had to respect
That's how
it.
you should.
So that same era, like that's around that same time, that's like the promo photo that they're using on all the Lil Yachty shit at that time.
Every time you see that shit, it's like, nigga, that's my shit right
Yeah,
there.
no,
Like,
facts, nigga. And I ended up getting that shit after, but
Really?
I was like sick, bro. Like I'm like, man, fuck this nigga Yachty, bro. Yo, so the nigga, so he has they do the show at the Strand, Lupo's. And at that time, I was known for playing, all of that shit.
Yeah.
So my man, Frank, he books me for the show, right? And so I go, I DJ the show before Yachty come. And I'm like, yo, at that time, it's like when the Slaughter tape was out. So, this like, again, niggas not knowing what none of this stuff is.
For real,
So, I got this shit rocking. I played that. I'm on that Slaughter gang shit,
yeah,
murder gang shit, skirt. Yo, these kids in there going stupid. I'm playing Uzi Vert, all this shit. The nigga Frank comes up to me. He say, yo, what the fuck is that song? I said, oh, that's 21 Savage. And I told him, I said, yo, I actually just did a documentary on 21 Savage for Two Dope Boys. And you can see like the shit like on YouTube, like all that, like to this day. And so he ended up booking the 21 Savage show. So I was like, yo, I could put
Also, you're the reason he got hip enough to be like, yo, I got to get this guy in my venue.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
And you went to the
And I
ended up going there,
DJ'd the 21 Savage show.
That night?
That's
real playmaker
Then you
shit.
must have remembered how long it took for that nigga to get on fucking stage.
Because you know what was big at that time? That's like when they was doing what was the mannequin challenge? Was big around that.
Yeah, Ray Shrummer. Yep.
So I remember that. The thing I remember from that day.
Bro, I probably got that shit on Snapchat.
I got a video from me DJing, like that shit flooded, sold out, doing the mannequin challenge in there from that show.
Yeah, like a filled venue.
I remember
crazy.
that. That's funny. That's funny.
You in
He's
there?
in the same building.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy how life works. And even talking about, just, I don't know, all these stories with just even like a DJ Real P starting at URI and seeing what he's doing now with Silk. Like, they just gave him like a recognition from the city. Like, it's stuff like that.
Me
Like,
and Real P was opening parties for Chubby Chub and Joe Vaughn's in Providence. That's why, like, niggas don't understand, man. Like, you peel back the layers on a lot of this stuff. Like, when you see me with certain Boston people, like, people are like, yo, like, you from Providence. Like, why are you even in the mix with
real
these
history
niggas?
there.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've been with these niggas for 15, 20 years at this point, you know? Like, doing crazy parties.
I feel like I went through like the craziest history lesson and like that. These are the type of conversations I really enjoy because it's like it makes us look at our own journey and just like, yo, where's things gonna be like 10 years from now? Because we meet a lot of artists, through this platform and everything, and being able to see where where everybody's going. Like even you mentioning Club Indigo, like we had them on 2 years ago maybe, and it's just like, yo, I know they gonna be doing something crazy. Like
that's the thing is, you guys are doing something very important. But in the moment, you don't know who's gonna be who.
For sure.
So like even a person that you think is not gonna be like a big artist is like, yo, they out, like, bro, they out of here. Like, and I think that's like, I won't even say it's a word of advice, but it's just like maybe like a mantra or whatever. It's like, if you fuck with niggas, bro, they don't need to be lit for you to give them the clap. As long as you fuck with niggas, yo, just give, like, just having them over here is like, yo, bro, you don't got 1,000 streams on your song, but I just think your shit fire, so you need to come holler. Cause you never, Bro, I have a podcast that I did called Some Jams. You could go on SoundCloud and see this shit. Like all the people that I interviewed on that shit are like crazy. But at the time, it was just, I don't want to say
People
regular
you fucked
niggas,
with,
but they
yeah.
weren't household names.
They were maybe regular at that time, but now.
Just think about it off the rip. Joe Freshgoods.
Yep.
First episode, Joe Freshgoods.
That's crazy.
Second episode, like I got Bandulu on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but these just niggas that I just know
Joe's
from
doing his
being
thing right now with fucking New Balance. He's
you know what I'm saying? But like
his own
that
store.
that's Joe Freshgoods' first interview
Chicago.
ever.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
first podcast interview ever.
Bro,
Is
that's
on there.
actually mad funny. This nigga Steph was in Chicago. Niggas like, I got some cool Joe Freshgoods merch.
Merch.
Yeah, merch.
Yeah.
I was like,
Merch.
merch is crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck you talking about merch?
Merch.
Nigga? I was like, nigga, the nigga got a store, nigga. He's like, oh, you know of him. I'm like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga.
But that's the
That
thing
was
is,
mad funny.
what y'all doing, bro? Like that's like why like I've been seeing what you guys been doing for like a while because you tapping in with the essence of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And people are not always gonna agree with your curatorial decisions or what y'all saying, but that's why this shit is important because you never know who's gonna be who. You document history, you know.
I mean, yeah, like
say
we
all
look
the
at
time.
artists like Key, Key doing her thing, and like
Crazy.
we were probably one of her first, podcast appearances multiple times, and it's just like seeing what she did. I seen a video. She had the white people going crazy on stage. I was like, oh, she got the white folks. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Bring out the Brinks trucks. I told Sadiq, I was like, yo, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all good. So I just can't wait to see how things just play out, and I'm glad to see it really played out for you from an early age, just being a hustler and just. So what it is now, like, so how do you feel now in this present moment? Like, what you got going on? You talked about how you even bought the what's it called? You bought the venue where you were doing parties at years ago. Like, how did that come full circle?
So like, like going back to the thing of like just being in New England, not having access.
Yep.
It forced us to kind of do some of this stuff where it's like, maybe if I was in New York, I wouldn't have the opportunity to own a venue because shit is so expensive.
Crazy
But like to me,
taxes, all that. Yeah.
I look at it as like, Stay Silent or even what I was doing with Block Stars, we kept the lights on in a lot of spots.
Mm-hmm.
You about to say?
No, I was gonna. It's a question that pops in my mind now. Like, you're more than established in New England at this point, right? What's keeping you here rather than being like, okay, let me go do my shit out in New York now? Like, clearly you're still here for a reason. Why is that?
I mean, like, look like this. Like, I remember one time I was in Philly DJing like Roots Picnic pre-party Duce Palooza. And Ravy B, amazing
fire photographer,
right? So she was the photographer for Duce Palooza, right? She did all the parties for them. And she said we in a van, like leaving a hotel. Like maybe we just had got there. She was like, yo, this is right when we was about to get the club. And she was like, yo, have you ever thought of like just moving to New York? Like, she was like, yo, if you move to New York, like, yo, you will be one of the biggest DJs in New York. She telling me this.
Nah, Ravy B told me that I'm going.
But I told her, but I said, I feel what you saying, but I have certain plays in motion at home that's like, yeah, I could be very visible in New York, but that don't mean that I'm gonna be financially comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, yeah, I could go to these places and be lit. Like, people's gonna see you and you on Instagram and you rubbing shoulders with all of these people, but I was at that particular point, I wasn't gonna trade the visibility for the money. You see what I'm saying? It was like,
I say all the time, that struggling artist like that, that's not sexy.
Yeah, like,
and
truth be told, I still move around a lot of these places. Like,
enough that you can be present.
Yeah, like, you don't gotta live there.
Based over there. Yeah.
Like, I mean, bro, like to me right now, so I said like Everyday People is the biggest party in the country right now. Like, salute to DJ Momo. Like, I think to me, I always tip my hat to DJ Momo and their team, what they got going on with Everyday People. Like, I think, and I haven't played Everyday People yet, but that's like on my bucket list of like parties to play. But alongside that, like, I've played like pretty much most of the big parties in New York. Like right now, South House, I would say like for Black people, is one of the biggest parties next to everyday people in New York. I've played South House multiple times. Like shit, South House came to Providence early this year. I played South House in Brooklyn twice. I played South House in Boston last week. Like the shit that was at Chinatown Country Club with Super Smash Bros. We did it at my club in Providence. So it's like I'm still in the mix. COVID really fucked up a lot of the motion that I had going on out of town.
I didn't think about that whole period, like just not being able to be outside. And
Bro,
that's your big, like, yeah.
Bro, the last party I played in New York before COVID was in the Barclays Center.
That Duce event.
Duce, like, think about it. And what they had on the schedule going forward, like, I was like a resident DJ with like, you know, so I played Duce Palooza in multiple cities. So like, when you think about it, like, just knowing the trajectory of maybe where that was gonna go, God willing, like, if the last party we played was in the Barclays,
where was it gonna go from
where,
there?
you know what I mean? Like,
No?
bro, like, I trust, like, even off camera, I'll tell you, like, parties I played with them for certain celebrities and shit.
I can imagine.
That's like, yo, holy shit, bro. You know, like, so for me, it's like, I'm in the mix in a lot of these places. I just think the way that my personality is, like, I'm a nigga that's more like in the background. Like, I'm gonna be in a space and my presence is gonna be felt. You know, like, I'm
Without doing something.
like, people gonna be like, yo, like, why is this nigga always here? Like, even in Boston, bro, like, people are like, yo, like, bro, like, who are you? Like, why are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you the only nigga from out of town that really coming? Like, it's like me and TGIF that come from out of town and we play every big party out here. You know? And I feel like it's like that, like, in a bunch of different, you're gonna see, like, in the next year, 2 years, where you start seeing me pop up with the party shit. Is like, we laid the foundation, we got the club, we have the stability, you know, to do things. But now you're gonna start seeing me really going crazy out of town again.
I'm excited. So it sounds like we gotta pop out to the next party. We gotta see what it's about. We gotta see it in person. I gotta be able to say, like, nah, remember that time when we pulled up and and that happened, and you know what I mean? Yeah. So when's the next one? How often do the events happen?
Shit, you doing some shit today, aren't you?
Just some shit today.
Yeah, like, right. Yeah.
Who could kill the dance floor? That's like, so like this is the thing, man. Is like,
I want to know where that name came from, but you finish your point. Yeah.
It's levels to the parties, right? So like, you got Day Trill, that's like 4,000 people, right? Like we did the last one. Shit was like insane.
I see partnered up with Spotify, Billboard.
Like, you know,
that's
like
crazy.
But then it's like, to me, you got like the weekly parties, the monthly parties. Like, that's really where the culture happens. Like, on a week to week, you get to test out different songs. That's where you seeing, like, all right, like, and this Boss Man D-Lo shit going kind of crazy right now, or this song. You know what I mean? Like, so we always got something going on. It's just the scale of it is different. You know, like, so like, Day Trill is very different from Who Could Kill the Dance Floor or Love You Better. But shall I be in Boston tomorrow too for World Africa, like block party, after party shit that they doing. So,
you know, and you even mentioned like Spotify, and like, you know, you've done stuff for Red Bull, like all these big corporations and stuff like that. How do you, or what would you even say to another artist or another individual who's doing freelance work that's like coming up, like how to navigate business? Because that's something that a lot of people don't know how to like manage. Like, oh, how do I determine what my price is going to be? How do I determine, you know, what my financial value is and stuff like that? Like, how did you navigate that?
That's a real good question.
That's tough because it's relative.
For sure.
Like, to who you're dealing with. Like who's to say that my services are worth, like, I could be like, man, niggas need to pay me $1 million to DJ.
Yeah.
But if niggas not willing to pay that, then that's not the going rate.
Price.
And I understand that. I think the piece of advice that I would give that's more important than the price shit is, right now you have the opportunity to own all of your infrastructure and all of the information of who your customers are. And that is what is gonna separate the difference. Like, if you look at Instagram, right? You can have, let's simple math, you got 10,000 followers on Instagram. Go to your last post.
Yep.
Take the number of likes that post has and divide it by the number of followers. it's gonna be
Turnover rate of like how many people are actually engaging. Yeah.
No, that number is always gonna be between 1 to 3%. And anything that's bigger than 1 to 3%, you crack the code. But you could go to anybody's page on Instagram, Kim Kardashian, like whoever, take the number of likes divided by the followers, it's gonna be between 1 to 3%. So that means the game is rigged, bro.
How so?
Because they're controlling the visibility.
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt about it.
So what I'm saying that for you as a business owner, for you as an artist, for you as a for you as a creator, you don't, even though you got 10,000 followers, you don't know who those customers are. You don't know who those people are. So
they hold all
the real, like even with Spotify, it's niggas who got 1 million streams. They don't even tell you who the top 100 listeners are. Think about how crazy that is.
Imagine that though. Imagine if you had access to their emails or any of that information.
And they understand the companies
safeguarding that data.
They understand that that's the value.
Yep.
The value is not the likes and the millions of streams. The value is the people that's behind it. So anybody who's in a creative business, if you start to understand that and realize that, it's gonna change the way that you look at your value. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, Stay Silent, we got a text list, we got an email list. I know at any given point I could reach 10 to 20,000 people just like that. You know what I'm saying? And that is powerful. Because I could put out a tweet. We got 17,000 followers right now on Instagram. I could send out a post, only 100 people gonna see that.
1 to 3%, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, bro.
Having that direct access to them.
Right now, this is the stage that we in, and they're understanding that, bro. Like right now, if you're an artist, you're a clothing line, you whatever you got going on, you can leverage the data to make decisions. Yeah. Right? So, and that's like when niggas is talking about you don't need a label, you don't need this, you don't need that, blah, blah, blah. The caveat is, well, you need the information to not need those people. Because that's what the label's keeping from you. So like anything that you're doing, bro, like that is what I would tell anybody right now is have direct access to your customers, know who your customers are, know who the top spenders are, who the people are that support you the most. That's what you need access to. And then just having the tools, like right now, bro, it's like, bro, like you look at like Cortez. Like Clint
in London, right?
Yeah,
UK. I don't know if they're based in London, but yeah,
London,
UK, yeah.
To us, it's all the same shit. Right? But yeah, like
in my head, I'd be like, nah, bro.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
UK, right? Like like him. You look at like Joe Freshgoods, all these guys. Like, bro, they run this shit off Shopify, bro.
Facts.
Like that shit was impossible 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they like it's to the point like they don't have to like Clint talks about this all the time. It's like, I don't have to sell my shit to a company that owns Supreme and then I lose creative direction,
control,
integrity, all
that,
this. Because I know who my customers are, bro. I know exactly what they want from me. Nigga, I want to drop tomorrow, I could drop tomorrow. I have the access to do that. If you could get 10% of the people that follow you and you'll watch your show, like whatever, that subscribe, to have direct access to them, like there is a large value in that. Like you don't need 100%. You just need a small percentage of those people to rock with you.
The thing is, that's interesting, right? I think we'll use you as an example. We can even use Joe Budden. These are entities that have had an established, footing for a while now. What about someone or a platform that's trying to do this now? How do you build that? You feel me? Because there's so much more competition now. I think with what you was doing, you had the vision from the get-go, almost 15 plus years now. You feel me? Joe Budden's been doing this for however long. Now if a new podcast is coming in the scene right now, it's like, how do you compete with that?
Even in those both situations, I'm not going to speak for you, but I can imagine with Joe and anybody else who starts off, there was probably years of not fumbling, but like not knowing the blueprint. You might
for sure. But I'm going to tell you this though. I think the difference is right now is there's tools for you to do this stuff at scale. So like, and what I mean by that is like, back in the day, AIM era, what we used to be doing is like, we go to school, you see like a group of like 10 girls that you come to all the party. Yo, let me get your aim. Because I know if I send you this shit, yo, you're gonna.
If you going,
yeah,
other people coming.
Exactly. Right? So that's no different than collecting an email or a text message right now. The only thing is, back then I used to have to hit them one by one.
True.
I used to have to,
tougher.
like, you know what I mean? Now you could type in one message and it could send it to 10,000 people in 5 seconds.
But you also gave them an incentive. Like you might even like, yo, I got this party. I might let you in for free. Just like whatever the case is. I think it has to be backed up with an incentive. No one's gonna give you their information for the free.
Sometimes.
I think
sometimes people just want to go.
And two, you got to look at what you do is, does it have value? Yeah. Because like, and also who are y'all trying to sell to?
That's what I'm saying. It's the self-awareness part. Because it's a podcast, you know what I'm saying? So like the way that I would look at it is like this. What am I talking about? What am I talking about on the podcast? What's my like subject matter? Who am I like directing my content towards? Yeah. I'm gonna be making sure that I'm engaging with those people because I want to make sure that they get that. It's not only in their ears, but then following up from that, they're gonna want to see what I have to talk about as well because it maybe it's something that can be constructive to them and maybe it's something that's valuable to them. They're gonna sign up for a listserv just off of the strength of that alone. Even if it's just like, yo, if you want the full conversation or if you want additional insight into like what we talked about here, if you want more specific things like more additional conversations with this particular guest that we had on or whatever, people just sign up just for that.
Leveraging every aspect.
Exactly.
And that's the thing
is it's very minimal.
Bro, we're conditioned to be scared to do that. Because these companies and all this shit, bro, they understand that.
That's real shit.
That it's like, yo, we're already doing it on their platform. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like niggas is already giving an email to sign up for things.
As a creative, the goal is to have your own traffic to your own shit outside of them. No bullshit. Yeah.
And they don't. Bro, they don't want
and when we talk about them controlling the visibility, it's so frustrating, especially when you like we're creating the content, we're putting out the clips and stuff like that. And you could see like we've had clips blow the fuck up, like literally hundreds of thousands of views. And I could recreate that same video to be like, I used the N-word a little too many times. Yeah. Boom. Or you talked about this subject matter. We not fucking with that. Boom. Like they just pick and choose. You know, and they don't even tell you. They don't even tell you what's sensitive or what's not. And it also just controls the way we move. And it's like, damn, should I swear less so I can make sure that, you know, there's less censored words or whatever the case is? They're kind of controlling behavior too.
For me, I would say any creative person that you got to study is Ryan Leslie. Like me, I study Ryan Leslie a lot.
Who that?
Produced, I mean, crazy. Like, you ever seen like?
Is that the video where he's like doing everything himself? Like,
yeah, like
did it.
It's a viral like once a week. Like that should go viral every week for sure. It's like he's in the studio and he's playing every.
You know who he is, bro.
It's like me and guitar. But I mean, he's a very popular songwriter, artist, producer.
This person.
Like he,
bro,
like
definitely seen this shit.
Ironically, I mean, he's the one that produced for Cassie before Cassie got with Diddy. Like,
he produced Me and You?
Yeah. Woo. He produced her whole album.
Oh.
like Ryan Leslie did that. He actually went to Harvard at 19. So like he's a real deal genius.
Okay.
But the reason I say you should study Ryan Leslie is more on the technology side, what he's doing. He's the one that like when Nipsey Hussle was doing Proud to Pay and all this stuff, like they were like linked up and Nipsey was doing Proud to Pay on one of Ryan Leslie's platforms, Superphone.
I think that's a great example. Nip is a great example of somebody who knew his audience and can get directly to them.
Yeah. So that's my thing, bro. Is like Ryan Leslie, I would study 100% because he understands like everything that's going on right now, bro. About niggas trying to build an email list, data.
He was already on that time.
He been like, I got on this shit like, all right, for Day Trill 2019, like if you go on my page, there's like something about it, like at some point where I sent in a group chat, I was like, yo, you think we could sell out Day Trill using only text message? And then
you tried it.
We did it. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you didn't promote anything on social media. It was straight just text
to the person.
Like what we did. So the case study, like of like how we did it is like, all right, you want to come to Day Trill, you have to sign up for this text list. Sign up for the text list. and it's the only way you're gonna get the information to get the tickets. So we leverage something that you want for information that we need to stay in contact
for the future.
For the future. So the next day we send a text where we sell like 2,500 tickets in less than an hour. Like just off a text message. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So, but this is from me listening to Ryan Leslie interviews, and he's talking about doing this with his album. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking about the importance of data and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third, and why you need to know who your customer is. So like, that's what got me, and this is like 5 years ago.
So what's the disconnect with the person who mass fucking DMs everybody to go check out their album? I'm just looking like, nigga, if you don't get off my shit.
Well, I think the problem with that too is
It's not
you're already speaking on it. It's not authentic.
I ain't signed up
You
for
know,
that
like-
shit.
Exactly.
It's just like, you know,
Again, the
like-
person who gave you that text, there was already prior interest there, you know?
And
And you might miss some people. Some people be like, why are you texting me, nigga?
Because like,
But
Yeah,
for the
for
most
sure.
part, you're going to have a higher ratio of people that actually align with what you're trying to
sure.
provide
you
them.
could see through it too. Like if you open it and you could see it's a generic ass message, you're more likely to just dismiss it. Now, if it was an actual personalized message that like, yo, Bird, I want you to pop out there, you might feel more inclined to actually engage with it.
Right
It
now,
depends on
like,
how they go about it.
this past year, like if you really look at like Drewski did it when he went on tour, Usher did it when he went on tour. Like I got a text from Usher today, you know what I'm saying? Saying, yo, I'm dropping this thing.
This
if you want
song,
to,
like listen to
I know
it,
some other artists who do that too. And
so you know,
it's
but
successful.
Ryan Leslie been doing this shit for like 5, 6. Like he actually owns a company, like a platform that does this.
Geared
Like,
toward that.
like you know what I'm saying? Called Superphone.
Superphone. I didn't know he was on that type of timing though.
No, like
Alright.
so that's my to me, he's one person. I think everybody like he has a bunch of interviews on a Breakfast Club, on YouTube and shit like that, where he like talks about this stuff. I think anybody who's a creative, you need to study Ryan Leslie.
Say that. Hey man, I really appreciate the game that you dropped. This last like hour conversation has just been dope to hear your story.
Appreciate you.
You know, going through the timelines. And again, I feel like we have a lot of dope guests who come through, and it's a lot of people who are passionate about the art that they do, but it hit different when it's somebody who's game plan, like you could see the track record, it worked. You know what I mean? It's not just like oh, I know it's gonna go somewhere. It's like, no, I did it, and I could show you how I got there. And I know that's valuable information that even the audience could take away with. And I know I took away with it. I know we gonna talk. We gonna be like, yo, we gotta revisit how we do all of this. You know what I mean?
Yo, y'all already doing it, man. Like I said before, it's like you on the ground level with this shit,
Sure.
and that's to me is one of the hardest.
We started. That's the issue.
No,
a lot of people don't
facts.
even start. You
And
know what I mean?
You crazy enough to think that you could do this shit because, bro, it's already it's a podcast every day. Like,
Man, I had the idea of a podcast 2016, bro. 14. I just didn't have
the resources.
to
17.
do it yet. But
It's probably 10 niggas in this building recording a podcast right now, but you crazy enough to do it.
yeah.
And I think you gotta just keep going. Like you on the ground level, the people, like I've seen y'all clips.
Yeah.
Before, even before I knew who y'all was, like I seen this circulate, and I seen you going crazy on niggas. You know what I'm saying? I seen you going crazy on I see like the shit would get sent to me. Like I'd be like, oh, like yo, you see this conversation, like
That's crazy.
So I think it's like yo, you already on the ground level, man. So you got to just keep going.
That's real dope, man. I really appreciate you for coming through.
Sure.
Hey, man, it's been a great conversation. I hope y'all took away. Do y'all got any final notes before we gotta get out of here? And if you got anything you want to tell the audience too, anything you want to plug, events you want to let the people know about. But
I say, man, just follow at Where's Nasty,
sure.
at Stay Silent PVD, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that.
All that.
If you really want to be like super tapped in, join the text list.
Oh yeah, you got to. You got to do that.
And one thing though that I am excited about that I'm hoping to launch in the next like few weeks is like more visual DJ stuff, like basically like a radio show on YouTube type vibe.
I'm gonna send you something. I'm wondering if this is what you're thinking about. 'Cause I got a friend, I wouldn't say a friend, but somebody I went to school with. Her name's Eden.
Oh yeah,
she's out in Brooklyn
man,
right now.
I love
doing her
Eden, man.
thing.
Shout to Q too, man.
She just did some shit. I think out in LA that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like they get a bunch of DJs just to pull up and like do their sets, but like live. You know what I mean, for the world to like engage with.
That shit's big right now too. I love Eden, man. Eden dope. She played Day Trill like last summer.
Where? Fire.
Smaller world than we think.
Yeah.
Social media, man.
She heavy in New York too.
She
right
is.
now. Heavy.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, that's what it's a lot of
I've
people.
been telling we got to get out there, bro. We got to go to New York, do some podcasts over there.
Sure.
Like, you got to get to New York. We was all
I
in
be in
New
New
York
York pretty often, man. No bullshit.
You went to New York for the Broccoli Fest?
You went to
That's not even
DC.
DC.
I know, but you
That's
went to
not
New
even-
York first. You went to before you went to
Because
DC.
my niggas was throwing an event in New York.
All
I
right.
Yeah, you got to, like you
was
said,
just in New York.
you got to touch the soil,
He
man.
can't question me. He's like, yeah,
I'm
this
talking
nigga
about
be
for
all
the
time.
purposes of the platform. That's what I mean.
You got to touch the soil, man.
For
Gotta
sure.
lock in.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
let's
Waiting
lock
on
in.
you
Let's
now,
lock
nigga.
in. Let's do it.
Nah, but I do appreciate the conversation, though. I feel like one thing that's always important to me, especially as we get into kind of like I call it like the thick of it when it comes to just podcasting in general, is that like it's very easy for us to kind of like identify who we want to have on here. And like for various reasons, obviously. And I mean, sometimes it's like mutual interest. Sometimes it's because we know that people have important things that that they can get off and that, you know, our audience can really take away from. But I think with you, it's really, to me, it's important that we had you on because you're someone that not only knows what you're talking about, but you're also from here. You feel me? Like, you're not from Boston, obviously, you're from Providence, but you're from an area that's local. You're from an area that's close. And like, you're giving people the identity that this is a place that's worth something. Like, I hate being in Boston and I see people being like, yo, like, I can't wait to get out of here. You know what I mean? Because it's telling people, especially younger generations, telling us where you're at is not worth what you might see it as right now. Like, I promise you, everywhere else is gonna end up being more successful for you than where you're at currently. But you're not only someone that stayed, but you're someone that's pouring back into your community too. So I just appreciate you. You know what I mean? Appreciate everything that you're doing. I just can't wait to see what's next.
And doing it as a proud Cape Verdean. That put a
facts.
smile
Where
on my
are you
face.
from?
Praia.
So I love Praia. I'm from São Vicente. But I love Praia, bro.
I was just out there a couple months ago for vacation.
Should go for New Year's, man.
So what are y'all gonna do about Amber Rose, man?
Man, yo, let me tell you, man, like, yo, I'm gonna tell you this, man.
I hate when
They're on the same side, though.
Let's see.
one person do not represent the whole.
I never said that. I just asked what y'all about to do about it.
What I'm gonna say about her, bro, like, I respect she Cape Verde. Well, she half Cape Verdean.
Yeah.
At that. Right. I respect that. But Amber Rose wasn't even really tapped into Cape Verdean culture till she came to the Cape Verdean festival in Providence like 10 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, this is all still very new to her being Cape Verde. Like, being amongst the Cape Verdean
She don't
culture.
represent us.
And then also, bro, a thing as Cape Verdeans we need to be honest about is there is a lot of post-colonial problems that we have not dealt with as a people.
For sure.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know if we joke about, but they love to throw around like the Cape Verdeans that be like, I'm not black, I'm Portuguese, I'm not African, I'm Portuguese.
but it's my thing is that if you understand how colonialism works, like that's
a given.
Like that's, you know, like I'm not surprised that there's people that think like, yo, bro, Cape Verde, like 1975 is when niggas got independence.
That's a very young age for a country to.
Yes.
Bro, my mother was born in 1953. So that means for like 20 years of her life or so.
Yeah.
Like, and this is a lot of people that, yo, they were conditioned by the Portuguese Empire of like, yo, you're not this, you're not that. So like, to me, it's like, and it's not just with Cape Verdeans. I think there's a lot of races, Dominicans going through this, Haitians going through this, a lot of people in the Caribbean that been colonized is like, they haven't, like, how do I say this? Like, they haven't even they weren't even allowed to identify with their actual roots. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think about like some of our parents, bro, they wasn't even allowed to go to school. Right. Like, you know, like, so they were taught all this wrong information. So I think with all of these people, we got to give them a little bit of grace, but we also have to give them the right information. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
they literally don't teach the national language. Like, you only speak the national language with like people outside in your household and everything. Everything else, like the official language is Portuguese. So
yeah, but with Amber Rose specifically, she's just the bird.
Yeah, nah, she was the bird. She is wild. She's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, for her, it's like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Let's relax. Hey, one thing I can appreciate about this podcast, we went 2 hours without talking about Diddy. I think that's dope. Every other podcast is talking about Diddy. We don't gotta be the podcast to do it. We're not gonna break no information that nobody knows. We know you're nasty nigga. That's it.
Yeah,
you could have went without it
bottles
until you
of
brought it
baby
up.
oil, crazy though.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
You said what?
Yeah, it's nasty.
You know, it's 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
No. The baby oil wasn't the craziest thing to me. It was the beds in the fucking basketball court. Like you see how it was in the walls. Like at any point he could unfold them.
I did not see that.
You didn't see that.
That was
Yo,
wild.
y'all gotta see that. He probably got a bed that
We
unfolds.
got the same Twitter algorithm.
What I was saying about the
See
whole
what they
baby
tryna
oil
push on
thing
it?
too is like what's crazy about that is like baby oil don't even run out like that. It's like to have 1,000 bottles. It's like,
I think when they say
Bro, I'm telling you, bro,
it's
it's a flex. Because the thing is that like it's opulence. You feel me? He could buy one bottle of baby oil. You probably don't even need more than one. Because baby oil, you know what baby oil is. You feel me? It's oil for babies. Their skin be getting kind of like type dry, so it really sits on the skin.
Yeah,
it's different from
it don't take a
oil.
lot.
You feel me?
It
It's
really don't
different
take a
from
lot.
other types of oil. So to have 1,000, like one bottle would do. But when you like opening a drawer and then pulling out the baby oil, niggas be like, ooh. You open the door, nigga, it's the baby oil room.
No, you gotta
niggas be
slide
like, yo,
the
this nigga's on a different
closet
time than
door.
nigga. This nigga's forcing it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. That nigga,
Yeah,
man.
there's gonna be a nice seat in hell for that nigga. No
Oh,
bullshit.
For me, with the Diddy, if we're gonna touch this real quick.
Let's do it. We gonna do it.
My only thing with the Diddy thing is I just hope, and this is like with a lot of situations that happen, that the jokes don't minimize
The actual damage that
the damage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think like a lot of us, like, we're like desensitized to this shit. Like, it's like, yo, the jokes do be funny, but it's like, bro, this nigga been wilding and he been wilding for a long time.
And we're talking about like sex trafficking, sexual assault. We're talking about all these things. And it's like to the point where niggas don't even know that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they just think that it's funny. They just like, oh, freak.
Yeah.
They have a freak off.
Yeah.
So, like, that's how. And it's like, nah, but like, that's nigga sexually assaulted mad people.
I just think it's
Left
crazy
and
when
right.
you just see all these clips coming from years ago, just people talking about it, all different people just like referencing this, and we just never really put the pieces together until now.
That's not true.
I don't think it's that we didn't put the pieces together. I
We're
think it's
purposely ignorant.
exactly like
I'm not saying we,
No,
but like
but
a lot of people
culturally,
establish
That's
like,
just a
yeah.
rock guy, man.
bro,
We
it's
fuck with
the
him,
same thing with R. It's the same thing with R. Kelly. Like,
Mhm.
bro,
Yeah,
like
we didn't know he peed on that girl a very long
no,
time
like
ago.
that. Like, this is gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna preface this before I say this. Like, bro, that R. Kelly sex tape, like that shit was platinum in the hood.
That's a fact.
Like if you grew up, like I'm talking, I was like a kid at that time, and you'll go to the bootleg DVD, man. They're like, yeah, we got this movie, we got the R. Kelly sex tape. Like,
We got
you know
this,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
So for people to say that they didn't notice, like yo, he made, bro had a whole song with Jay-Z, Jigga Kelly, Not Guilty. Not guilty of what, bro? Like, this is during the trial.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like, we could play all this revisionist history. Like, yo, bro, we grew up on these. We grew up on R. Kelly. We grew up on Diddy. They got classics. We're not gonna take that away from them. But yo, they still did wild shit.
That's
sure.
a fact.
Now, I got a gripe.
It's your gripe.
And my gripe is that they trying to make Jay-Z next. And I'm not here to protect people that I don't know, but because if he guilty,
That's an interesting rhetoric, bro.
If he guilty, he guilty. But
They're
my thing
trying
is
to
like,
make him next.
I see what you're saying.
I see like it's only about, like I see tweets like it's only about time that he's next, and it's like,
Well, I'm gonna say this, right?
So
It might
quick
be
to
though.
want
I'ma say
this
this,
to
though.
happen to
I hear you.
a black successful
How you
man.
know? Because
But niggas can't play with that.
Nigga did bad shit.
No,
bro.
if he
Niggas
did,
can't
but
play with that if
he
there's
has
anything
done
to
bad
speak
shit.
on,
He so
though.
cracked to his mom. He shot his brother. We know
No,
this,
no
bro.
one's even talking about that. No
I'm
one cares
just
about
saying,
that. That's
bro,
just like, oh yeah, you just a fucked up nigga. Niggas talking about like the grooming, you know, the grooming of these women at young ages and stuff like that. We can't speak on it if it didn't happen.
But hoping like that is the case, so you could get that person.
I mean, because the nigga did bad shit. Why would I not hope? Why would I not hope that eventually the truth comes to light?
That's the thing is,
I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying that I can understand.
You know, like, and this is where anybody, like you hope, you know, like the people that you love and you idolize and you grew up on, you hope that they didn't do these things.
Sure.
But it's like, yeah, we don't know these people.
For sure.
You don't say we don't know what they're into, what they're not into. So it's like, for me, it's like, shit, I hope not.
I
hope not.
That,
You
that
know what I mean?
Rockefeller event that you had is not gonna hit the same in your
bro,
memories.
Bro, think about how many. Well, I have a interesting viewpoint on this, like where I think it's like, I think two things can be true. Like, it's like, yo, like you can, like Diddy can be all of those things and still be an amazing record producer.
For sure.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He made classics.
Yeah.
That's not saying
one doesn't
that,
negate the other.
that's not saying that we still have to celebrate him.
No.
Like in the same way as like R. Kelly. Like, R. Kelly, like, bro, like, I mean, Remix to Ignition, Step in the Name of Love, that shit was,
did what he had to do.
that shit was ringing off in parties after the allegations. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It took for the documentary to come out.
Even then, some aunties was still out.
And it's still people that's not having it.
Yeah.
So I think, like, when it comes to like a moral, like people's like moral compass, a cultural moral compass, like a lot of this is just based on like what the temperature of the temperature of the time is. So it's like, we in a time right now where people's not going for that, and which is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like like people shouldn't have to go through the things that they went through with these people. But it's man, like I think it'd be hard. It's like if niggas found out like Michael Jordan was like a, I don't know. I guess people say he's a terrible human, but if like
that nigga did invest in them prisons, bro. That's
or Steph Curry wasn't really the family man, and be like,
they were saying that this nigga Michael Jordan. You seen that picture of him that came out?
Yeah.
They say that nigga cried Sonny D.
That's
crazy. That's crazy.
But that's the thing is like what all of
when your heroes just like
and that's
curtain
why
gets pulled, the magic trick unfolds.
We can't idolize these people
for sure.
More like it's like they regular people just like us.
Respecting what they do, respecting their craft, but just understanding like they're all human. That's for sure. Hey man, my thing is with all this going on, I think men just gotta y'all gotta stop thinking with your other head, bro. Like this shit getting y'all in trouble. Like
don't say that.
No,
nigga, because you a man
power
too.
Trip.
Be honest.
I'm speaking to all men.
You're not. You keep saying y'all.
No,
own that, nigga. Because like the thing,
everyone in this room, everybody. There you go. No man is there
you go.
To your point, man. I think it's like discipline.
Yep,
that's the word.
But also, I think like what Diddy and them niggas is doing is outside of discipline. Like it's
that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's way like what they
be as
on,
successful as they are, they're clearly disciplined.
Yeah,
but I think it's a matter of a power trip.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of ego. It's a lot of just.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of that stuff
too.
is beyond like not being disciplined. Like that shit is like, nigga, you just wilding the fuck out. Like, but I do think and I'm saying this myself included, like, men, we do need to get to a point of being more disciplined sexually.
I agree.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, we at a point where like this shit is OD, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's getting niggas locked up in trouble. It's not worth it. Just ain't worth it. Find you a good woman.
But even beyond finding, I think like finding one good woman is like, we need to just respect
women in general.
Like, because niggas will always be like, man, like I love women, I love my mother, I love my sister, but it's like, bro, that's like three women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's a lot of,
yeah, bro.
And we're not. That's not to say that we're perfect and that we're always gonna do the right thing. But we need to at least strive it and have the level of awareness to be like, this shit is fucked up.
Yeah. Would you say a couple weeks ago, niggas is sexual deviants?
Niggas do be sexual deviants.
You know what's crazy, bro?
Bullshit.
You fuck with Mecopolis, don't you?
That I don't even know what that is.
Oh, damn. I was gonna say it because that Instagram page, he always be saying it. Like he always
that phrase.
He calls like it's like a lot of these rappers, man, they sexual deviants.
No bullshit though.
It's like they sexual, like it's like this shit that they doing and talking about is like that's facts. That's not some normal shit, my bro.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people gonna talk about it, especially the higher ups, because they all kind of doing. They probably all doing the same type of activity. You know what I mean?
And I think to your point, like going back to the Jay-Z thing, I think what people saying is like, well, shit, maybe you the company you keep.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you've been around this one. You've been around this one.
R. Kelly, Diddy.
Yeah. So I think, it's
the natural.
People gonna put your feet to the fire, and then hopefully it's not true.
Hopefully you don't burn. Nigga.
Hopefully not.
But hey, if it is.
Well, yeah, no, I'm gonna say
that shit.
Justice is justice. Like whoever got to get served to, that's who it got to get served to. I just hope that wouldn't be the case. But hey, man, I can't cancel out anybody from it. You know what I mean? But
be like that sometimes, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, y'all just respect people out here. Yo, dude, like when you focused on yourself and the journey that you got going on, you ain't even gonna partake in this because you don't got enough time and energy for it. Just put that energy into yourself. That's it. Hey, man, it's been another episode of Bad for the Community. Where's Nasty in the building? Really appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.